in 11 days. I
All
promise
right,
you
live
that
Thursday night football. Cleveland in the New York Jets. Football is back again this week. Week 3, always a week of surprises. 0-2, winless teams. Who continues to be winless? Who's going to be in the dumpster? Who's going to salvage their season and fight to get back at 500? We're going to see teams come back and get into the stage. We're going to see some teams out there get back to the playoff picture. Cleveland's your winner here tonight. Gematria, New York equals 111. And you look at the Cleveland Browns record right now. 1-1 for Cleveland after this game. They're doing it against New York. 39 points last week. St. Gonzalez, field goal, extra point, whatever, he missed it. St. Gonzalez, from my very own ASU's, got to come up strong tonight. He's got to come up strong. He's got to hit his kicks. Carlos Hyde has got to lead the way for Cleveland's offense, which really helps to run the ball for Cleveland since they have no passing game. And Carlos Hyde, he's going to pick up the sticks. And for Cleveland, it's going to be running the ball to set up the pass. That's what has to happen tonight for Cleveland. They've got to run it well, and they need to set up the pass. That's what Cleveland's got to do tonight. They got to give it to their big free agent, Carlos Hyde. I've got Carlos Hyde on my fantasy team. I hope this is a big fantasy Thursday like it was last week for AJ Green and my team. And I'm hoping they give this guy the rack. They do what it needs to take in order to win this game, which is to feed the rack to Carlos Hyde. Big, strong, physical running back from the Ohio State.
Watches it go over his head. And out to the 25, it comes. Is it Tyrod? Is it Tyrod? Either way, he's number 5 for the Cleveland Browns, and he's coming off a better effort last week in the loss at New Orleans after a rough go.
443 passing yards, and he only scored 10 points. It's like
not an easy place to play there.
Defensive coordinator is letting it up. Best of luck to DraftKings. I don't play DraftKings. I know it's available. Weekly fantasy football.
They faked it to Hyde, and then a throw. Quick pressure.
I don't know why they try to play fake there. Just try to fake after running a couple of plays and getting that defense locked in on the run or the pass, and then you go out and fake them.
Kind of a surprise left tackle, and then the backs and receivers. Antonio Callaway takes over the spot held by Josh Gordon in week 1. Well, the future Hall of Famer Joe Thomas here in the building, and great career, and they replaced him with an undrafted free agent. Taylor keeps.
That's not that he should. Take one for 2 yards, and Jets defense is stout. They're going to snuff this one all the way. Todd Bowles and company. Know what needs to happen.
How they started the season on
and Todd Bowles and a great Cardinal defense. Joins the Jets. He gets their defense good. Now it's time for New York to finally get its offense going. Outside of Robbie Anderson, still don't have a good
many of those
offense.
were in that week 1 win against the Detroit Lions. 3rd down and 8. This one is floated and out of the reach of Antonio Callaway.
Tyrod Taylor's garbage. It's a 3-and-out already.
Last week in New Orleans, but it is a quick 3-and-out, and there was no room out there whatsoever for the Browns on offense.
Yeah, Todd Bowles, we came in talking about Greg Williams and what he wants to do defensively. The Jets, they like that style of play as well. They bring the pressure there on 3rd down. They got one-on-one on the outside, but just not much there.
Britton Colquitt hits the punt. Andre Roberts with a fair catch.
Andre Roberts, former Cardinal as well.
44-yard punt. Here comes Sam Darnold.
I like seeing kind of guys do well.
You were kind of busy over the offseason leading into that draft, looking at all these quarterbacks, and this was the guy that if you were a GM, you would have
Hugh
taken.
Jackson.
I would have, and I was a little surprised at the end of my evaluation period that I did
Browns
rank him as the
coach.
number 1 guy. Going into it, I'd only seen him play
Played
a few
for a
times
team
in
from
USC.
LA, Oakland.
They just happened to be games where he didn't play particularly well, but after
He
studying all of
coached the
them,
Browns,
he was
or he
number one
coached
on
the
my board, and I
Trojans
think
as
he
an
was
assistant
number
at
one on the
USC.
New York Jets board as well.
He can
And
get
they
the first
moved up,
win against a
gave up
former
a lot to
USC
move up to
quarterback,
number 3, but I
against
think
the
in their
former
opinion,
USC
they
coach, LA
regard it
native,
as the number one quarterback.
Hugh Jackson.
They want to run it better today. Toss to Bilal Powell, running left. And Powell on first down gets 4, knocked down by Jabril Peppers, who's getting better and better at that free safety spot. You know, what's ironic is when I went to Sam Darnold's pro day to watch him work out, of course, all the scouts and the coaches are all there. I stood next to Todd Haley, watching him
13
work out
interceptions
Todd
with
Haley, of course,
USC
being the
last year. It
offensive
is
coordinator for
LA
the
that he
Browns
goes
with the number
13.
1 pick. And
Sam
I was
Darnold.
awfully impressed, but when they went through it all, John Dorsey
Browns defense is really stout.
and he hasn't gotten
Problem's
his chance yet,
been
but I
the
think
other
he's gonna have
side
a
of the
bright
ball.
future too. And that future, and that chance may come soon.
Oh, that play's been snuffed all over. Nice awareness there by Cleveland Browns defensive backs over there. They snuffed that right away.
At a loss of 8.
Right as Darnold, they're number 14.
And they will throw some misdirection off of that. Roll them out to the
End
right.
of a streak
Which
for
this is how he had the
Cleveland.
interception the first throw of his career.
I
when
think
he tried
that's
going
this is the
downfield,
significance
but
of his
not
number
pulled on the backside. And this
for tonight. The
Denzel
end of
Ward,
a
tell you what,
winning streak.
I'm really high on this young man. You get the number 1 quarterback.
A through
and then
I,
you get Baker
you know,
Mayfield with the
1 through
first
9.
pick.
This is what
With
this
the
is
fourth
saying
pick,
here.
you take
That's
who was the
gematria.
best
That's
corner
numerology.
in the draft.
The Cleveland Browns
That's a heck of a
defense
first-year draft for
against
John
his rookie
Dorsey.
quarterback.
Down at 14, there was
He's in trouble.
nonsense.
Number
There are no
14,
flags
14 yards to
as
go.
Powell
He just
was
not
the
get it
target
done.
of James
He's
Burgess.
out. Rookie quarterback,
Linebacker in
ups and
coverage.
downs.
Burgess
This is
starting
what
to the
life
edge
is
of
like.
Christian
There are not many first rounders who end up being great starters. So the supply is very low. And Sam Darnold's got a big challenge.
Had to double clutch it a little bit. He had a chance to get it off, but Schobert was there and got in the throwing lane. And then, of course, Burgess makes a play on the other end. The punt with Peppers on a bounce. Dangerous grab, and he fields it cleanly on a hop brought down by Middleton. For Lachlan Edwards, a 50-yard punt. 3 and out each side. Browns have it back, no score.
Your Highness, thank you for the invitation.
Let's talk about Todd Haley. Since they show Todd Haley on the screen, just sort of preview what Todd Haley is all about tonight. And I'll talk about his last game as a NFL head coach and the significance of this primetime game on Thursday.
We take my extra crispy chicken and
This primetime game on Thursday with Todd Haley. Maybe. If you snooze, you lose, okay? If I eat it, I eat it. Now, Haley used to coach Kansas City.
I got this.
His last game came against the Jets.
You got to get back up. John, you better kick it up a notch and get us home. There's always going to be nails on the road to victory, but you keep on going.
So Todd Haley, his last game as a head coach came at the Jets. He goes to Cleveland. He ends their losing streak against the New York Jets. His last game as a head coach came against the Jets. So that's the way the storyline with Todd Haley. You know, Hugh Jackson, LA, and USC, and Sam Darnold, and now Hugh Jackson, the Jets. His last coaching game, his last game in the NFL as a coach came against the Jets. You know, Cleveland's going to take this all the way.
I love having something that I can hold in my hand.
Take this
We're proud of
all
this
the
way
way.
of life. We're proud of the work
all
we're
the
doing.
way.
I saw a small foot. I know you did. I smell cover.
I mean, I'd be really shocked if they don't win.
I saw a small foot.
I just hope that
Never seen that happen.
Carlos Hyde gets it going. I hope he does.
28.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light, enjoyed by Giant Blue Fiction.
Bud Light is piss
everywhere.
water. I'm
And
getting out
KFC's
real shit
10-piece chicken
later
feast.
on. Some malt liquor.
Well,
Drinking
the
my
Bud Light
Coke right
night
now.
guarding the fridge here in Cleveland with the mascot just dying.
The games are rigged.
On a beer. Well, I don't know what this stadium.
We get the
holds, but
first win on
there's a lot of people
national
out here,
TV.
but all
The
around
whole
city of
nation
Cleveland,
watching.
hoping to get their hands on a beer by the end of the night. Yeah.
At home as well.
Man, this one's batted in the air.
Why don't they run the fucking ball for the first play? I mean, gay ass play calling. We're just gonna see 3 and out. The game's gonna go on for 4 hours or something since you're not running the clock. I mean, that's what this fucking game is looking like right now. It's 2:40 into the game, and already this is a third fucking drive.
And everybody gets free beer. That's going to be pandemonium. Disco demolition.
It's already 2nd and 10. The Cardinals.
2nd and 10.
Why are they throwing there? I mean, Browns will Brown. This is gay. Now it's 3rd and 10. These faggots don't run the ball. They don't even try to take field position. It just makes it easy when you know they're just going to step back and throw.
The last win the Browns put on the board. And they celebrated a 20-17 effort. It's been 635 days.
San Diego Kickers threw that game away on Christmas Eve, I guarantee you.
0-1 to start the season this year. Taylor trying to sneak out. Great job and a first down carry and much more. He leads NFL.
How you like Tyrod now, Bills fans? You guys don't have shit at quarterback. He took you to an early playoff berth in like 21 years. This is how you repay him. He took your team to the playoffs and you're stuck with trash. That's just billing, right?
Big runs when he's needed. It's 3rd and 10.
I wonder if Cleveland played Buffalo at all this year.
Not throwing it particularly well. And you can tell things getting a little chippy here in the early going. And we talked about how here in Cleveland, they look at the schedule and they say, hey, this is a game that we should win. Well, I'll tell you something. Jets coming off a tough loss against Dolphins. They looked at the Browns. They said this is a game we should win. So a lot of pressure on both of these clubs here in the 3rd week of the season to come up with a victory.
A lot of pressure on Hugh Jackson.
First down of the game. Here's a little toss back to Taylor. And Taylor.
Receiver in the area.
Open, but couldn't get
where the fuck is the play call? You see, where is the play call?
Safety out of LSU. He's an outstanding player now in his 2nd year. He's right here. And on the previous play, he came off the left edge. He's very good around the line of scrimmage. He's outstanding off the edge as a blitzer. But Tyrod Taylor able to get it out of his hands. This guy is all football. His father, George Adams, was a guy drafted in the 1st round by the Giants in '85 as a running back. Handoff is to Hyde.
See, you can pick up more than 2 fucking yards. That was 3. Give him a rack, okay? Get that big run that's needed.
6 coming up. Well, we'll see. Now, Tyrod Taylor, as I said, he's yet to complete a pass. And the last 3rd down that they converted was him scrambling to pick that up. It's the only one that they've been able to convert. See if he's able to kind of get back into some type of rhythm. Jermaine Johnson not out there. He checked out with his helmet off on that 22-yard run by Taylor. Here's more pressure. Can't bring him down, and now aired out for Callaway. Contact, no flag, incomplete. Claiborne and Middleton in coverage. And they can't believe it here in Cleveland. Well, we're going to take a look at it here on the end. The safety comes over, and it looked to me, Joe, that Middleton was playing the ball. Yeah, there's contact. I get it, and I think they could have called it. I don't know that it necessarily was a penalty.
Maybe a makeup call later.
There's a great punt down near the 1.
Now he could have given it even more room. The ball could have been there at the half yard.
There to tap it down after a perfect 47.
If that's where the dog pound is located at, good luck trying to get that first down.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100%
911
online,
crap.
making it easy to
Occultic
browse, view, and buy for over 10,000 cars.
111.
You can even trade in
9
your old
plus
car
1
while
plus
binge watching
1,
your favorite
11.
TV
New
show.
York, the
Afterwards, we'll
11th
deliver your
state.
car to you.
New
Or
York
you
City,
can pick it up
11
from one of
letters.
our car
Afghanistan,
vending
11
machines.
letters.
Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab
Ridge
a seat,
911.
relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
The Pentagon, 11 letters. Jets won on Monday Night Football the day before 9/11. Fuck! Shitty City, yeah! Overrated. I don't know how people think they can win the Champions League. I take Paris over them. I take Liverpool over Shitty City this season, okay? I take Man United over Manchester City. I take Barcelona over Manchester City as well. I take Real Madrid over Shitty City too.
The news today is crazy. You're not going anywhere dressed like that.
Why?
You know why. Dog pound, baby.
Right. In the shadow of Hollywood's glare, stars craft the next chapter of their tales. The quarterback, hoping a fresh start will deliver this franchise the perfect finish. The rising talents, eager to prove last season was just a glimpse of what's to come. Vikings, Rams.
Okay, series record.
When it's on, it's
Series record.
If you want it, go get it. Thursday Night Football, next Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, Fox, and streaming on Prime Video.
Browns lead series 13-12.
Jackson shaking his head.
And
That's remnants of that no call.
win number
in the end zone.
14
We'll hear from Mike Pereira after a play.
against
The Jets in a scoreless
number
game starts with
14.
a 1.
And is and ready for 14. I have to get back to the game here. Why aren't they stacking line of scrimmage?
Isaiah Crowell, former Brown, gets it and is able to drive out of the end zone with James Burgess there to make the stop. And Mike Pereira, what did you see on this no call on Callaway?
Joe, it is a good no call because what you have is two players making a legitimate play on the ball. They both have equal rights to it. They collide shoulder to shoulder. He's not playing through the back. It's almost like a Hail Mary situation. I think it's a great job of not calling interference.
2nd and 9. Trying the right
Oh,
side.
Browns are just shooting those gaps. They are shooting those gaps. These linebackers are hitting these running lanes super quickly. They're getting no room to run. And now it's a lot of pressure for Sam Darnold to even try to.
That's what they're looking at. He did run into the locker room with him as well. I'll let you know when I hear.
Already a Jets player gets out, right? CJ Mosley gets out, whatever. Didn't really look like much happened there, and the Ravens lose last week, and now the first player to get hurt is a Jets player. So I have no idea what's going on, but that certainly helps Cleveland.
Sam Darnold in the end zone. Rolling left, throwing high, incomplete. With pressure
This can
by
get
Myles
ugly really
Garrett.
quickly.
The
Oh,
target was
Sam Darnold!
Garrett.
Sam Darnold!
Great form. Greg Williams told us he thinks he
Sam Darnold!
one of, if not the
Okay,
best
one good
ever
game to
at
start
doing
off
this
does not
if he
mean
stays
you're going to be the
healthy. I
next
think
great
that when it's all
quarterback.
said and done
When
this
you're a
year,
rookie
he's going to be
quarterback,
a
you're going to go
commodity
through your
defensive
ups
player
and
of the year.
downs.
We saw him in the
You're
preseason.
going to
He was
struggle.
phenomenal. He was great
Teams
week
are going to
one.
get
He's just
film on you.
an
They're going to
exceptional
make
player.
adjustments.
Give Jeremy Bates
That's why Jimmy
offensive coordinator
Garoppolo
some credit
struggled
on that
early
call
on in the
there. Move the
season.
pocket
That's
and
why
get
there's
away
going to be
from
growing
Myles
pains
Garrett and
for
put
Sam
yourself in his
Darnold
hands.
and the New York
Now pick
Jets.
it
That's
up,
why I
and now
picked
great
Miami
field
last
position
week.
to start this drive for the Browns.
Go!
After 2 3-and-outs and on the dead
Number
run,
22 with the
Jabril Peppers
return.
takes
Number
it inside
22
the
leaves the
40.
game for the Browns, and number
And that's
22
exactly what they've
returns
done.
it to the 30.
43-yard punt, and on the
8-yard line. The ref may mark it down at the 39-yard line because it is New York into 9-1-1 left in the first quarter. 9-1-1 left in the first quarter. Why is that?
I thought one of the things that was interesting in visiting was
9-11, right? 9-11, rigged game. That's all I have to say. Mocking of the elites. Now, yeah, they marked it down at the 39-yard line.
Hard to score when you're backed up like that, but change field position. They're unable to pick the first down, and now you've got Cleveland on.
Gematria, I see Gematria, and I watch these fucking games, and
Tyrod Taylor is able
I won the ball! Come on!
not alone. Big Steve
What is up?
goes back there.
What is up with this fucking play? Okay, come on, line up under center.
Off the edges, and they're testing.
Someone's missing their side. I mean, this is a wide open guy. This is a Cleveland Browns we're talking about. They're clowning around. Hugh Jackson's not calling good plays. You know, rip that playbook. It's running.
Hit, knocked down 4 times.
There's no audible there. The Jets are crowding the line of scrimmage. It's only a 2-yard gain. When you're crowding the line of scrimmage, call an audible, call a goal, call a hitch, call an out route, call anything other than running up right up into a crowd of traffic. Browns will be Browns. Their uniforms are literally, their logos literally shit too, and their team is garbage. I'm seeing Cleveland Clowns clowning around. They're so.
Unbelievable range. He's as tough as they come. He loves contact. He's an old school safety. He reminds me of a guy like Ronnie Lott who could just do it all. They're down at 14. Here's a pass to Callaway, and that does nothing in this crowd.
I bet these clowns are going to kick a field goal now. Oh, we need points. We got to do something. Oh, we're screwed the rest of the game. That's just the Cleveland thing to do. Okay, this clown is calling plays. Big Ben just audible out of Todd Haley's plays.
As we know, this has been an offense through 2 games that hasn't been, all that productive.
How do you not run the ball when you're at the 39-yard line of game field position? I mean, this is a gay game, and the guy catches the ball at the 11-yard line, and New York was the 11th ratified state. It's New York City, that's 11 letters. This is just a rigged game. I mean, what the hell?
As a pro athlete, the Sleep Number 360
This is ugly so
my
far.
competitive edge.
Really
Senses our
ugly.
movements and
It
automatic
really
adjust
is.
to keep us both effortlessly comfortable. So I'm at my best for this team and the home team. Sleep Number.
Man,
Proven quality
Browns
sleep
are just
for $9.99.
colossal embarrassment.
Bring the heat.
Prove it.
What else can I really say about this? This team is in trouble. They're in deep trouble.
Electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Study, testing.
Unfortunately, we have shitty teams that play on Thursday.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation,
You don't see much of
it's
a
your
product
responsibility
sometimes, like
to
last
solve
week.
the world's greatest challenges.
Last week was a
This is why
joke.
we
It was a
search
blowout,
for
but
the
then they
best
just kept the
and
game
brightest,
close.
where we train for every eventuality. On land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We
You see,
operate in a complex
we got the
world
Jets.
with one simple
We got the
mission.
Jets and the Browns. It's the seen as competitive matchup, but they're 2 pretty bad teams.
For all those who lead the pack or fly solo.
Nothing left like Parmesan cheese in my fries. I'm just going to grab all the cheese
Whatever your
bites.
style, shop up to 50% off women's fall fashion. JCPenney, style and value for all.
Game of the week. Carson Wentz against Andrew Luck. Colts are winning that game. Take that to the bank. Andrew Luck in the Colts over Carson Wentz in his return.
Coupe and Cabriolet. The thrills keep getting better.
The Bears are trash. Fuck it, man. Cardinals are going to beat the Bears. That's just a powder puff team, okay? They have been. Mitch Trubisky, he's talented, but he ain't elite. That's just. I'm not hating on Trubisky. He's just not elite.
Good morning football.
He's a good quarterback, maybe a good backup, but maybe not a starting quarterback.
You are watching Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light.
He's being carried by Jordan Howard.
1 first down between these two teams.
Bears not going to have first-round draft picks. Their salary cap's going to get eaten up. They're not going to have money for a quarterback.
From the 11 on first down, toss to Powell running right.
The Raiders have shot to these guys. They're a really high draft pick. Just wait till after this week. Just wait until week 8. You see what the Bears' record is. Oh, they're really going to need that first-round draft pick. It's like it's only a good trade. It's only a good trade if Khalil Mack takes you into being a contender. It's only good if Khalil Mack makes the Bears a championship contender. But it ain't happening. That's why it's a bad trade. They're giving up draft picks to not just one good guy in the defense, but 8 to 9 really good guys can be good too. I see get a flag if he runs up his mouth or turns into a Browns player. Just do something stupid.
They just simply couldn't cover anybody, and this defense this year is only going to be as good as their pass coverage, and that's why they went out and they drafted Denzel Ward, and they bring in Terrence Mitchell, and they basically rebuilt this secondary with Darius Randall now playing safety, and it is a much better group. Last year, they were playing a lot of base coverages, even against 3 wide receiver looks, quite simply because they had no confidence in their secondary and being able to hold up. Not the case this year.
Darnold out to his right, running for his life, and throws it away. Fire the target. And with that, we will tell you that Sunday at 9, Kurt Warner goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson. Plus, the guys preview Carson Wentz's return to the field. NFL Game Day morning, Sunday.
I want to see Kurt Warner go one-on-one with Carson Wentz, or even Nick Foles during his remarkable Super Bowl run, or even Andrew Luck.
Very disappointing Monday night game against the Bears. Let's see if they're able to regroup. They get a few guys healthy this next week.
Powell left side. Back to the line of scrimmage. That is
a non-existent running game.
Jamie Collins was out there to make the stop, no gain. The running game was non-existent for Sam Darnold against the Dolphins after really showing up well against the Lions week 1.
Yeah, and that was a disappointment. Now, they were facing a heck of a defensive front in the Miami Dolphins, but you got a young quarterback. You're trying to protect the guy. And
Dolphins have really strong defensive front. I think they could be a playoff team this year. Ryan Tannehill is returning the year of the comeback, and Andrew Luck.
Knows that as well. It's been tough sledding so far, which is usually the case, though, when you're trying to run the ball against a good front.
3rd down and 10, and Darnold is sacked. Garrett. Greg Williams said as Darnold kind of limps off, and no Jet fan wants to see that, but this guy's got such speed coming off the edge.
Well, they run the twist, and he starts on the outside, he loops around, so then he's taking the center guard gap is where he hits it. And when you look at the Jets through the first 2 weeks, it is an offensive line that has struggled with those types of defensive games. Not surprised that Greg Williams dials it up on 3rd down, and he gets home with Myles Garrett.
Edwards hits a booming punt, sending Peppers back inside the 15. And the flag. And the tackle out near the 17, 18-yard line. A 61-yard punt. It's the long of the year so far for Edwards, the short season, 2+ games.
Right to Carlos Hyde here. That's what needs to happen for Cleveland to win the game, is to give it to the workhorse. Carlos Hyde's going to be that guy that San Francisco originally drafted to be, which is to be the next Frank Gore.
After this to the goal, 1st down, timeout.
Here is Darnold when he was sacked by Garrett, going down awkwardly. Back after this.
Yeah, this is Bob Barnett in Chicago. I was there when Bob Barnett made the first commercial wireless phone call. We were both working on that first network that would eventually become Verizon's. That call opened the door to the billions of calls that we've all made since.
I'm proud that I was part of that first call, and I'm proud that I'm here now as we build America's first and only 5G ultra-wideband network that will transform how we all live once again.
First call that we made on the cellular system.
We're more than just
Bears defense is looking good, but you do sacrifice some things along the way. The Bears did not gain everything. They need to draft more players in order to be a contender. Players leave and go very quickly, really expensive guys like Khalil Mack. And then you have Jordan Howard, or they're going to try to lock up too as well. If they don't have anyone else, and they need to lock up Trubisky, well, that's even more money that's going to lock up their cap. The Raiders, you'd have the highest paid defensive player, one of the highest offensive players in the league. You can't build a team like that. You saw how Seattle has no offensive line and no one wants Russell Wilson got paid that enormous contract. It's just not going to happen that way. The Raiders wanted 8 to 9 really good defenders, not just one defender who can be neutralized through special team, through double team. If you double team Khalil Mack and you pick off and you play around with the 9 other bad defenders, then that's an exposed defense. Doesn't matter how good Khalil Mack is. If you double team him and everyone else gets exposed, well, that's a bad defense. And that's what the Raiders understand.
And we can have a read it, right? Read us? That's how we do it, man.
He's not retarded for trading him away. He's getting really high first-round draft picks from the Bears. They're not going to finish top half in the division. They're going to be in third place. They're going to be in last place. They're going to be towards the bottom. Those are high draft picks for the Raiders. If the Raiders make the playoffs, then, those are later draft picks, then they get even higher first-round draft picks from the Bears. So the Raiders gain something. They get something out of it. They get enormous draft picks. First-round talent, rookies managing the cap really well.
Browns' last drive started Jets 39 and went nowhere. Here's a handoff to Hyde.
Go! Yeah! Fantasy points! Yeah!
Middleton on the stop. And a carry of 21. Well, Orson Charles, number 82, is going to come here, and then he works across.
Ground and pound, boom! Yeah! Wide receivers upfield. Run the ball, you jackass! What were you doing earlier in the game? Fucking run it! What were you doing earlier in the game? Quit checking off! Let me rip off your dick and set it straight here and just quit jacking off and dicking around. Give this fucker the ball. Quit dicking around. Stupid motherfuckers. Tyrod's not going to win the game by himself, okay? You're on crack. You are on crack, Todd Haley. I want whatever you're lining up, man. Because you ain't on coke no more, are you? Oh, yeah. Get that fullback in there. Line the tight end in there. Ground and pound. Carlos Hyde's going to win the game. He's picking up fantasy points. He is picking up yards. Everyone wins from this. I win. Cleveland Browns can win this if they know what their winning formula is. Cleveland seems confused about a winning formula. They need a winning formula, and they need to stick with it. Set up Carlos Hyde and open up these receivers. Open up the running lanes for Tyrod Taylor. When you get everyone to run vertical routes, this is what Cleveland has got to do. Tyrod Taylor can run up the middle here. The Browns can try to spread it out. It's 3rd and 2. I think I know what they may do here. But the Jets have crowded the line of scrimmage. They've crowded the line of scrimmage. You see, put Carlos Hyde behind the backfield.
It's Tyrod Taylor, and a loss of 6, and I'm going to say it now.
They're just browning around, are they? A team of shit. That's what Cleveland is. A team of crap.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. On that play, however, Joe, Tyrod Taylor didn't have much of a chance. David Njoku, the tight end, here's a punt blocked. It is touched by the Jets and out of bounds inside the 30 is Kevin Pierre-Louis.
Yeah, they'll take a field goal or whatever, and just Browns clowning earlier. The game should end 1-1. It's just the Jets are getting early momentum, and when you write a script, right, you need suspense, right? The Browns were up by 10 points, whatever, and they still lost last week. So you need suspense. You need suspense to rile up all the sheep that are watching the game. Quite frankly, the sheep out there that don't know that is fixed, that these kind of things happen to create suspense. So that's what it is. That was a great return.
For Jermaine Kearse. Second down and 10. So the Browns have had one opportunity deep inside Jets territory, and now with a block punt, this drive starts at the 28.
We'll see if Cleveland defensively is able to maybe create another takeaway, or at the most just give up a field goal opportunity. But it's been a game of field position. The Browns were unable to do anything with it earlier. We'll see if the Jets are here.
Hand off to Crowell, and he is going to lose yardage. A loss of 1. These two quarterbacks tonight have combined, Darnold and Taylor, to go 3 for 13 for 8 yards. That's it.
It's been it's been a defensive battle, to say the least. And both these defenses are improved from where they were, and I also think that there's a feeling out process going on right now offensively, and some of that is because of what they're facing with the pressures, and some of that, quite simply, is just understanding what's at stake here for both these teams.
Let's see, the play clock at 2, and the Jets sideline calls a timeout. So over to talk about a 3rd and 11 is Darnold, in time for a brief
Baker
message
Mayfield
from
comes
the
into
U.S.
the
Army.
game because the Browns are struggling so bad with Tyrod Taylor.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt,
Parmesan cheese
and
is
get
so good.
smarter.
I finished up my wings.
Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it.
Garlic
Nobody
Parmesan.
knows what problems tomorrow will bring.
Wrong with my
But we
wings.
do know who will solve them.
I have the garlic Parmesan left. So garlicky.
Coach Todd Bowles
No vampire spotting here. I like my garlic.
will lead to a touchdown, a field goal try, whatever. 3rd and 11.
Better block that guy, Myles Garrett.
Blitz. Quick throw. Pass caught by Inunwa. Big play. 1st down and more inside the 15-yard line. Peppers on the stop. But a crisp throw from Darnold for 16 yards.
Yeah, it's great execution. Spencer Long, the center, he gets out, he makes a nice block, and get the ball out quickly to Inunwa and let him go do his thing. This guy's 235 pounds. He's been extremely active just all of last year. Been the most targeted guy by far through the first 2 games. But when he has the
Luckily
ball
for
in
the
his hands,
Browns,
he's
this
like a
is
running back. He
close to the
looks
end
for
of the
contact.
first quarter.
That's a great job
They
as
set
a
up
catch
on
of going and getting the first
2nd down or 3rd down.
Here's a toss to Crowell. The former Brown spins off a couple of hits and takes it to the 6. With half a minute left in the opening quarter. Last week,
The
Sam
NFL
Darnold
comes out
became
the schedule, they're
youngest
like,
in the
hey,
history of the league to throw for over 300
John Haley's
yards.
last game giving us a Jets, saying
He's
Isaiah
just 21
Crowell
years old, and to me,
used to
he's
play
got
for the
what you
Browns, and he
need
plays
to
for
be
the
a star
Jets.
athlete in New York. He's got the
So
ability.
let's have all these
He's also a
storylines and
grounded kid.
let's
He's
put these two
respectful.
teams on
Gets the
Thursday
big
Night
picture.
Football
Reminds me
since
of
it's
Aaron
close
Judge,
action.
the Yankees outfielder. He can play, but he can handle the spotlight. The block punt by Kevin Pierre-Louis, setting up opportunity for the Jets. Into the 2nd we go.
There's a couple of things I'd like to say. After all,
Oh, just don't know who can be a fan of the Cleveland
After all the
Browns.
crazy things that we've been through,
You wonder why some people from Pittsburgh.
the wake of the day first broken light, and blind-eyed fall, I'd follow you. Never realized how much I need you.
Comfort. What we deliver by delivering.
Sunday at 9, Kurt Warner goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
And what drives him to be successful.
I don't visualize failure. I visualize success and what it's going to look like.
NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9, live on NFL Network.
One to the end zone. Touchdown, what a start. Experience the thrill of NFL Red Zone from NFL Network.
We got a stuffed lineup of games all day today.
Every touchdown.
What a grab. Oh, how high can you leap?
From every game. Look at that.
Did that just happen?
Every Sunday afternoon.
We were built for days like today. All the way! Touchdown!
NFL Red Zone, Sundays at 1.
I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football,
Fine,
presented
Bobby.
by Bud Light. It is a new quarter.
Rally beer.
Second quarter,
Well,
second
I'm
down
not
and
going
4.
green for the Jets.
Yeah, we'll see what the Jets are able to do.
Come on.
They struggled down
Go,
there in the
Cleveland.
first 2 weeks. They were just 1 for 4 inside the 20 in the opener against Detroit. Last week, 0 for 2. And I'll tell you, you kick field goals, you typically lose games. Hand off to Crowell, and he will walk in for the touchdown.
Here's your former Brown player. Early suspense.
Isaiah Crowell, who spent 4 years as a Cleveland Brown, takes that blocked punt by Kevin Pierre-Louis, cashes in. A big completion by Darnold on that drive on 3rd and long. You see the outside receivers there, Jermaine Kearse and Robbie Anderson, and they crash down, and they're able to seal the edge, and there's just nobody there. Last week against the Saints, the Browns really struggled against some of those outside runs, particularly down around the goal line late in that game, and they've been exposed a little bit here in this one as well. Extra point sneaks in off the right foot of Jason Myers. It's a 7-0 Jets lead. And time for a message from Pizza Hut and Sleep
Only the
Number.
first 10 seconds of
We're more than just
The second
$7.99 large 2-type pizza delivered.
quarter into the game.
We're at that moment you realize
There's still a lot of time left.
you're raising her right.
But those missed chances for Cleveland, not running
As
the
a pro
ball or
athlete,
anything,
the
is
Sleep
it
Number
really hurt
360
them.
Smart Bed is
It
my
really hurt
competitive
them.
edge. It senses our movements and
They
automatically
fucked up.
adjusts to keep us both effortlessly comfortable. So I'm at my best for this
Baker's
team.
got to be warming
and the
up
whole
soon.
team. Sleep Number.
He's
Proven
got to play
quality
for
sleep
them.
from $9.99.
He's got to play for them if they don't come through. Pick up some first downs in
Took a
his
little
next
while to
drive.
get started. But the Jets take that block punt by
They
that
gotta
man.
do
Kevin
something
Pierre-Louis
here.
turn it into 7. And that completion to Inunwa for 16 yards on 3rd and 11 is what got him in. There's a block by Pierre-Louis. And the Jets
Pierre-Louis
trying to go
is
to
big at the
2-1
ball.
with a win here tonight, lead by 7. Did you know the first Monday Night Football game involved these two franchises?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ABC's Monday Night
Okay.
Primetime National Football League television.
They said that.
First down, New York at their own
It
18-yard
is.
line, 47 seconds to play.
It's Monday Night Football that equals 33. It's Monday Night Football. And equals 33.
It's
And
great.
it is
Browns won it by a final
Cleveland
31-21.
equals 33.
Here's one aired out for Callaway. And underthrown. He was clear of Tremaine Johnson. Good to see him back by 5, maybe 10 yards.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
on
it doesn't that
Taylor.
we say the whole story of the Cleveland Browns losing streak. He's wide open. He just got put over the top.
Be able to make up the ground. The
That was
ball
not
floated
a
on him,
good
and it
reform
allowed
ball
Johnson
game.
to get back underneath. And I think Tyrod Taylor thought that he could have come back and maybe make a play on the ball, and maybe he could try to
Just
go
go
up
over the
and
top.
high-point it a little
It's
bit.
not
but
that hard. They
if
make
that
it
ball was out there,
overcomplicated
that's a
sometimes.
touchdown.
Taylor has started 1 for 8 for 2 yards, and I don't care what he says, that was an underthrow.
That was an underthrow, and there's no doubt. And
Okay,
throwing with
he's
that
a
kind of
bum
speed,
if he
sometimes
says
it's
that
hard.
that's.
You can take a look at last week, and this was a dime.
Okay,
by
that was
Tyrod
an
Taylor
underthrow. He's
on
a bum
4th and
if he
5.
says it's not
Antonio
underthrow.
Callaway, when this ball was thrown, I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to go and make the play on the ball, and yet he was able to. And 21 miles per hour is what his top speed when he was running that post route. And I was watching it at home, 4th and 5, and thinking, oh no, and then, oh yes, what a play.
They're down in 6, blitz off the edge, and Taylor
Yeah,
goes
stupid
down.
fucker. He
First
didn't
there
even know
was
that a
Buster
blitz was coming. Taylor's a
And
dumbass.
this crowd is even more frustrated. Henry Anderson joined in, a loss of 9 on the
This
sack.
Jets defense is the strength of the team, not their offense.
They're dialing some things up, and they're doing it with
A very
lot of
casual
different
fan
people.
say
We've
that the
seen
Jets have
Jamal
a good
Adams, He's come
offense.
off the edge this time, Buster Screen. And Screen is more thrilled about having Tremaine Johnson here on this team than anybody. It's allowed him to get back inside where he's more natural.
Here's Andre Roberts, who had a big punt return for a touchdown week 1 at Detroit. Tyrod Taylor missed a shot deep, goes down on the sack on 3rd down. He is frustrated. So are the fans, down 7.
Taylor's just a loser, okay? He gave us a really terrible playoff game last year, okay? He's garbage. It's Thursday, yes! Oh, what that means. It's time for football.
They thought it was just a phase. You knew it was just the beginning. You're the brotherhood of muscle.
Jets and Browns fans are gearing up at NFLShop.com, the official online store of the NFL and the largest assortment of NFL fan gear anywhere. With unique, one-of-a-kind designs, exclusive products, and authentic gear from every team and all the players you love. For a limited time, get free shipping with promo code ENDZONE. Visit NFLShop.com today.
From the deep drop, steps up in the pocket. No fire to the right side. Right there.
Yes. I like it. It's dark like this, like a movie theater. That was red. Total 58 points, tie game. I'd find something up with that if it was, but total 58 points. It is the Freemasons that rigged the NFL. They rigged the NFL. Remember, it is Freemasonry that equals 139 and 58. And, week 2 started on, 13-9, the 13th day of the 9th month. So I think that's why you saw some Freemasonic tributes on the last week of the season. I think that has a lot to do with it. The start of the week and what it really means for the rest of the season.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light. Tyrod Taylor and Antonio Callaway will be going to sleep tonight if the Browns don't win this game, thinking about that missed chance with Callaway getting behind Tremaine Johnson on that last possession. We'll look at it again. Darnold from the 37 keeps, rolls to his right. goes in.
Oh, that's clowning, ain't it? Of course it is. He drops it. Tyrod Taylor misses the throw. They'll run the ball on first down. I've just been seeing a bunch of clowning early on in the game. It don't matter if Cleveland doesn't win. They suck. Too much so. That was a swole-ass call there. I mean, that was right on the money there. Of course it is. Okay, these things are not coincidence when, back-to-back kickers on the opposite teams miss field goals in Browns Steelers, and the same fucking thing happens for the second consecutive week. Like, what are the odds of that happening? So it's not coincidence, right? It's all rigged. It's all mocking you guys to have the same exact thing happen 2 weeks in a row. The game-winning field goal. Oh, missed field goal.
Get the look you want when you call a shot. Everybody says sometimes, how come they're not taking shots? Well, sometimes they're called. They're just simply not there due to coverage. And then when you get it, in this league, when you get those looks, you just simply have to cash in.
Howell again left side, and there's some room out there. He gets 8.5. Brought down by Schobert, Pro Bowler from a year ago. And the Jets able to move the ball just a little bit. Darnold came very close to an interception by Schobert earlier in this drive. Darnold so far has 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, coming off a 2-pick.
3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions facing the Browns. Maybe that's why. I mean, this is just rigged stuff.
Be one of the leaders in tackles in all of the NFL and made his first Pro Bowl, but he's a heck of an athlete.
This play shut down. Timeout taken by the Jets.
Rigged. Keeping rigged. Rigged league, rigged numbers, rigged everything, scripted.
Schobert during the preseason going between the legs on a dunk.
Well, the guy just deflected the ball, but you have to hold on to that.
I was watching some of his basketball exploits.
I mean, I know I typed in Darnold. I meant to say Darnold, but you get my drift.
But he's
you get my drift.
I know that Greg Williams, really likes this guy. And like I said, he kind of emerged out of nowhere last year. In fact, he's such a great athlete. I talked about how they played very little nickel when they bring in a 5th defensive back. One was they didn't feel great about the nickel linebacker, and the other reason was because of Joe Schobert. He's such a great athlete. They used him as the nickel back, much like Carolina does with Shaq Thompson. So that's a real compliment to what he can do.
2nd down and 2. They run it again with Powell left side, cuts back, has a first down inside the 35.
Let's see their forward progress. They stop there. I think that's when the stop may occur. Long field goal try, 10-0, and missed field goal or some magic.
About the offensive line and some of the changes that they've made.
Here's
they brought in
Baker
Spencer
Mayfield.
Long. They got a healthy Brian Winters. They feel better about the group, but I think the reason they feel really good about it, they got a new offensive line coach, Rick Dennison, right there, and he learned under Alex Gibbs in this zone blocking scheme. He's one of the best teachers that has ever coached in the NFL. He truly is one of the greats, and he's an outstanding line coach and probably the best in football.
Toss to Crowell. They just keep running left. Over on that side, it's Kelvin Beachum, the left tackle. It's James Carpenter, the left guard. And they're running behind Beachum. Gain of 8 there.
What they wanted to do, as you said, Joe, they were unable to get it going last week against the Dolphins, and they know they can't just sit back there with Darnold against this high-pressure defense, get the running game going, and they use these backs. They platoon them both. They both split carries pretty much. They use all of them in all situations. Isaac Crowell comes over. He was the leading rusher for the Browns the last 3 seasons.
Crowell back there here on 2nd and 2. Gets it. Left side again. And a loss on the play of 2. Ogunjobi got through to make the stop, so 3rd and 4. Jets are inside field goal range for Jason Myers, who has a big leg.
They've been running to that left side, and sometimes you run out those pass rushers and you try to wear them down a little bit in the running game. And they've been going to his side and with success on the ground.
3rd down and 4. Quick throw, pass caught. That's Inunwa.
He tips over his own guy.
When Darnold has had his success, the balls come out of his right hand fast. That was a catch and run of 16 by Quincy Inunwa.
We saw it on the first 3rd down that they converted there in the first quarter. They come out, they get the ball out quick. They've got Jermaine Kearse, who's making a key block right there. Essentially takes on 2 guys. He jams them right up in to the defender who's covering Inunwa. And then you've got Brian Winters and Spencer Long. I think it's a well-designed play by Jeremy Bates.
Darnold got rid of it so fast, he didn't even get the laces. Just let it fly. Good for 16. Toss to Crowell. Inside the
Browns are getting tired.
He is running hard. A gain of 6. Terrence Mitchell on the stop, and the Jets now are taking control of this first half.
Yeah, Isaac Crowell, as I said, he's spent the previous years with the Cleveland Browns, and you can imagine what this game means to him coming back here to Cleveland. He's running like it. And in the meantime, we talked about this crowd wanting to have a party. Well, they're not too thrilled right now. It's gotten awfully quiet around here.
From the 5. Here's Crowell again. He's going to be knocked down.
Jets are running the ball.
First down yardage. So 3rd and less than a yard for Todd Bowles' Jets. Bowles in his 4th year. He's gone 10-6 and then back-to-back 5-11 seasons. No playoffs yet. It's 3rd down.
He almost made the
Less than a
playoffs.
yard.
His first year.
Offensive lineman Jonathan
Ryan
Harrison
Fitzpatrick.
into the game.
I would have to believe that if they don't make it here, that this is 4-down territory for the Jets.
45 yards rushing on the drive. Here's a cutback for the
Touchdown.
touchdown for Crowell. Isaiah Crowell. He's got a couple. And that'll draw a flag every time.
Was that Jonathan Harrison that they put in there at fullback? I think that's who it was, 78. They don't have a blocking fullback. So they use tight ends, and then when they get down here real close, just bring in an extra lineman. Here he is right here. And he just powers his way, and it's a pretty good feeling as a back. You get in behind that and just force your way through. Joe Schobert unable to keep him from getting in.
Number 20. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced.
They're assessing that penalty on the kickoff.
So you talk about Crowell coming back here to Cleveland. He gets a visit from Stump Mitchell, his running backs coach. And with that act, after the touchdown, the flag for the 15-yard penalty for clearly unsportsmanlike conduct. This to make it a 14-0 game. They sputtered at the start, but the Jets have settled in. Here's that near pick by Schobert. Jets took that opportunity into the end zone and lead by 14.
And he's gone! Timeout! Water break!
This is the Crown Royal Water Break.
Thank you!
That was the Crown Royal Water Break. Moderate your drinking to stay in the game.
At AT&T Innovations, we give you more for your thing. Here, we're adding TV and movies from our unlimited plan to the powerful new Samsung Galaxy Note 9. The perfect device for entertainment and productivity.
So it's essentially the Ed Helms of devices.
How so?
Well, he's both very entertaining and very productive. You think? Yeah, I do, and that's my completely unbiased opinion.
Buy a Galaxy Note 9 and get one 75% off. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Howdy, folks. Is now a good time to talk about KFC's new Hot Honey Chicken? We take my extra crispy chicken and glaze it in my golden hot honey sauce for a crispy, sweet meat that sneaks up on you. Try KFC's new Hot Honey Tenders Basket.
Wrangler jeans are made for those who roll with the times. Like him. And her. And these two. New styles, great fits. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
Look around. With artificial intelligence, we are not crawling or walking. We are flying. Microsoft AI helps an architect bring histories back to life. This is now. AI helps farmers grow more food with less resources. An engineer explores how AI can help the deaf see sound. Innovation creates tomorrow, and tomorrow is here today.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by the Crown Royal Water Break. Moderate your drinking to stay in the game.
The Jets have taken control of this game. There's a block punt by Kevin Pierre-Louis that set up the first score. Isaiah Crowell has both touchdowns for the Jets. They lead 14-0, and then Crowell
The other team is bad. It's
with a
simple
double
as that.
penalty at the end of the touchdown run that means the kickoff from Jason Myers comes from the 20. Callaway is waiting deep, along with Carey, and Carey will take it back. Jabril Peppers is in that blue tent, and TJ Carey ran into
So they'll be like at the 37-yard line.
Neville Hewitt, and just a 21-yard return out to the 26. And for the game, these two have a nice relationship, getting to know each other through the draft process. I thought it was interesting, Troy, when you talked to Sam Darnold, he didn't know the night of the draft whether his name was going to be called by the Browns, and as we all know, it was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield didn't know. I mean, they didn't know until right when the pick
Baker needs to get on the fucking field.
Tell you what, I think Tyrod Taylor's got about one more drive before these fans can start clamoring for Baker Mayfield.
Backing up and somehow able to find Hyde, but there's nothing there. Henry Anderson out there to make the stop, and a good play. And now Tyrod Taylor's grabbing his back.
He's faking his injury so he can put in the quarterback. He's got his helmet
These
on.
Browns, Troy, and the fans in this stadium came into this game with something they haven't had in a while, and that's expectations. I mean, they're a 3-point favorite. This is a game they thought they would win. It's still really early, and there is opportunity here to see how much longer they stay with Taylor. He's got to get hot, though. That's not going to do it.
Well, you hear the fans right now, and you knew it was just a matter of time, and they want to see Baker Mayfield. They know what he did in college. They know why he was drafted, and it has been a struggle. And like you said, Joe, the first 2 weeks, okay, we understand. They were still optimistic. They're still fired up about the season. A lot of young players, some optimism, a lot of things to like. But if this Browns team does not win tonight, I'm telling you, they're going to lose a lot of people as far as their confidence in what this season can become.
Some of the crowd start a Baker chant. On third down, the pass is out of the reach of Landry. And we will keep our eyes on that sideline as Taylor comes back. A flag is down late on the sideline. And Taylor may get a reprieve. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. He's 2 of 11 for just 2 yards. And those last 2 passes, he had open guys. He just flat out missed the throws.
It was really good deal on.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 22, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's Tremaine Johnson, so that's 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls against the Jets. And this gives, and here's the reason, that threw the flag as he hands the ball.
They called it a penalty. What? Of course, they're trying to keep the game close, so.
They've not been able to get Jarvis Landry going
Let's get the Carlos.
in this ballgame.
Here's Nick Chubb, the rookie. the Georgia Bulldog, and there's nothing there. And whether it's Tyrod Taylor or Baker Mayfield, the offensive line for the Cleveland Browns is getting overwhelmed right now. There's no room to run, and there's no time back there for Taylor to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, there's a lot to discuss along that offensive line. Some of the things they went through in the training camp, trying to put them together. Zeitler missed a lot of time. They're right guard. It's not a group that's worked a lot prior to the season.
Taylor is going to pull it down and run. Flag on the play. Taylor gets hit high, and that draws a flag. Could be offsetting fouls here.
They gave a call holding on defense.
Tyrod Taylor, and there was an early flag where you think hold or something like that against Cleveland.
Well, we'll see, but the hit
there are 2 fouls on the play. One against EC. Holding. Offense, number 64. Personal foul. Defense, number 22. These fouls all set. Replay, second down.
So we got an unsportsmanlike conduct, Tremaine Johnson. We got a 5-year, $72.5 million deal.
Referees are getting involved.
Taylor slips past it.
And this wasn't very smart by Tremaine Johnson. He's going down. And that's his second penalty now. And there's Kevin Green, and one of the greats. He got inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Just an awesome guy and a hell of a player back in his day. But those penalties, Tremaine Johnson, now he's had a couple of them.
What's going on? What's going on here?
So second down and 10.
What's going on?
Hyde in the backfield as this officiating crew seems a little confused.
We are confused.
First 5 possessions.
I'm not sure why they're so confused, but
what are you
what
doing?
they're talking about. They don't see what.
Hey, jack it off. Yeah, loosen up their dick.
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that they're talking about a possible ejection. I don't think that would come into play, would it, Mike?
I just think really they got a little confused about where to put the ball after the offsetting penalties. The down started second and 10 at the 41. And I think the replay buzzed down and checked it, but they wanted to make sure that they got it spotted right. That was the confusion. It is right.
Second down and 10.
Hurry!
Handoff is to Hyde, and what a job by this Jets defense. Darren Lee got through. The third-year linebacker from Ohio State. Adams was back there as well, and Todd Haley's offense can't get anything going.
Here he is. You're going to see what Darren Lee's able to do, because if Hyde had been able to get away from him, there really was nobody else out there, and he just kind of lost his balance. But Lee was there to make a play. This Jets defense in this first half, they just played at a faster speed than Cleveland has.
Browns are under 2 yards per play. With 5.5 to go in the half. Taylor to the sideline, and what a catch and a reach for a first down. That was sensational by Jarvis Landry. Great catch, and then going out of bounds, reach for the first down.
You look on the outside, they turn Antonio Callaway loose. He has a shot. They just busted the coverage. Tremaine Johnson just lets him go. And still yet, though, that's a great job. These are the types of things Jarvis Landry, does regularly.
My opponent put Isaiah Crowell on his bench.
Baker Mayfield like everyone else.
12 yards to Landry, 6th target, first catch. Good protection this time, and Taylor drops it off to Hyde.
Yeah.
Backfield. Eyes downfield, finally dropped it off, and Darren Lee on the stop after a gain of 5. As the Browns are inside Jets territory.
I think Todd Haley saw what we saw when they turned Callaway loose. They come back with a similar scheme team and getting Landry down the middle, Callaway up the right sideline. Fortunately, Tyrod Taylor has lots of time in the pocket. Jets covered it up very well. And so he does the right thing and checks it down. 2nd and 5.
Yeah, get the horn! Yeah, go!
To get momentum. To the 33, Middleton on the stop tomorrow on NFL Network. Check out what critics have called the best morning show on sports television and legit entertaining. It is. It's a great show. Good Morning Football tomorrow at 7, only on NFL Network.
You know, I watch that show every morning, and I thoroughly enjoy it. They do a great job, but there used to be Schrager bombs, and I don't know what happened to those. The little inside nuggets from Peter Schrager, one of the regulars, and I don't know. He's gone big time on us, and I think he's just left what kind of got him there, and those were the Schrager bombs.
First down. Handoff is to Duke Johnson, and the crowd is happy to see that. Yeah. They want to see
Ground and pound, okay, at the high.
He's been great catching the ball out of the backfield, and now they hand it to him for 8 yards.
Yeah, he's a special player. He led the team in receiving last year. You know, as a running back, he says he'd rather catch the ball than actually run with the football. They like splitting him out, doing a lot of different things, but he's a versatile guy, to say the least, and they're splitting him out now.
And now timeout taken here by Cleveland. So we'll take a break too. 2nd down and 2. A little life for the Browns, trailing by 14.
They're trying to get the touchdown here before the end of the half. That's just my only guess.
If they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Because calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest in your school. Be the fastest ever. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football, play it. And if you're a girl from Compton, become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
NFC powers collide on Thursday night. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings take on Todd Gurley and the Rams. When it's on, it's on. Thursday Night Football, next Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, Fox, and streaming on Prime Video.
What an unbelievable play!
Oh my goodness, this one had a little bit of everything.
Time to rock and roll!
Yes! How amazing!
It's a pleasure, man.
All right, I like that.
Is this their game? Is this their Super Bowl?
I can't wait to see this matchup.
What does he need to do to win it?
That's priceless. You can't get that from a lot of people.
Ready?
I'm ready to go. All right, let's do it.
Hey, baby, let's go out there and have some fun.
The guy has been able to do it all.
He's down. Touchdown.
Can we talk football?
The NFL draft is officially over.
Who's the most dynamic football player?
Hey, oh my goodness, you got it.
It is all on the line.
Fires to the end zone. Right the zone. Pulls it down.
.307 left in the half. Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light. 2nd down and 2. The Browns down 14. Little play action. Taylor. No one there. And if I told you who that was for, I would be guessing. Orson Charles, the tight end. We've got one camera, Troy, I think, just locked in on Baker Mayfield over on the sideline. And now a flag for grounding.
To the ground.
Yeah.
Offense, number 5.
The receiver ran the wrong route, Joe, and he was within the pocket.
Lost it down.
Just because the receiver runs the wrong route, it doesn't mean that you can't get called for pass interference. It's right here. This was right there, Jarvis Landry, and it seemed to me like he was the one who Tyrod Taylor thought was going to go to the corner.
Yep. Landry.
I think that's a good call.
So does Mike Pereira, giving the thumbs up. To your right, Landry and Orson Charles, the big tight end.
Because you said he wasn't under pressure. Oh, I think he's under pressure. He's got a guy like that.
3rd down and 12. This is a restless crowd. Remember, they have a new kicker in Greg Joseph, by the way, if this drive stalls right here. And now Taylor is going to go down. A flag on the play, but Avery Williamson gets through again. And it's a hold against Cleveland that'll be declined.
Holding. Offense, number 74. This penalty is declined.
Avery Williamson, he comes in, he gets his 2nd sack of the day, and I think that, protection was not great, but I think that's one, there was a place there for Tyrod to make a throw. You had a guy work in the middle of the field, and if you anticipate it, you have time to cut that loose, and, they had a nice drive going. Disappointing, they back up, and now they're forced with a punt, and this is an offense that's only scored 6 points in the first half in their first 2 games, and they've got none here to show for it.
Baker in before the end of the first half.
Knocked the Browns out of field goal range, and the Baker chant picks up a little more steam.
If I was the crowd, I would be chanting that for the next 30 fucking minutes until the end of the first half.
Christina.
Yeah, this is a crowd in a city that is starved for championships. Just 4 championships for the Browns way back in the 60s was the last one. The Cleveland Indians, 1920 and 1948, but the most recent back in 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a crowd that is getting raucous and rowdy. They're ready to see some success here, Joe.
Well, they might be able to celebrate a world championship in baseball. Their Indian team is fantastic, running away with the division.
Single 53, 53.
So it could be a
Or Andy Dalton. That's a lot of competition.
Right now, it's not a very fun September. It's been not a very fun couple of years as Bill Powell loses 3 on the play, and a good piece of work by the Browns defense.
Joe, we hear this crowd, and they're chanting for Baker Mayfield, and a lot of discussion as to how you bring this young guy along. Patrick Mahomes, we've seen what he's done this year after sitting down for a season. And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers. Those are the quarterbacks that people point to and how successful they've been not playing right away. Patrick Mahomes, he had Alex Smith in front of him playing, and then Aaron Rodgers had Brett Favre in front of him playing.
Let's see if this rookie quarterback understands the clock advantage. I think he does. Don't snap it.
And Baker Mayfield,
He gets it.
he doesn't have a future Hall of Famer in front of him like Aaron Rodgers had.
2-minute warning here in Cleveland. 2nd and 13 for the Jets when we come back as they lead by 14.
One team decided to run the football. The other team decided not to run the football. I mean, this is a game. This is a game of chess matches. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, calling the game right. I mean, Cleveland's not calling the game right. The Jets were calling the game right, getting that ball to their tank, Isaiah Crowell, letting the big man get to work.
Dad, look. Dad, look. Dad, look. Dad, look. Dad, look. Dad, look.
Son, look. An SUV that looks out for
They're
everyone.
trash.
It's possible in the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe with safe exit assist.
Tyrod should be played. He should be played. They're not running the ball on first down, the Cleveland Clowns. They have Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. If they're really trying out there, they would actually try to get to feed the offense to Carlos Hyde, but they're not doing that.
NFL game.
Are they?
Full game replays.
That's the touchdown catch of the year.
Coaches film.
Let's get to this next play here.
Condensed games.
Skies into the end zone.
NFL Films Archive.
How about them Cowboys?
NFL Game Pass. Start your free trial today.
Nationwide presents this Man of the Year moment. Across the NFL, players are making a difference in their communities. Every year, the league recognizes those players with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award presented by Nationwide. Each team's nominee wears a helmet sticker for the season, while past winners proudly wear a jersey patch for the rest of their playing careers. Nationwide is proud to support these men who make a difference in our communities. Visit NFL.com/Man of the Year to learn more.
Stay tuned for the Lexus halftime report. We'll figure out who's on the other end of that phone call with Baker Mayfield.
Well, they came and got him and said that they were summoning him to get.
I agree. The 49ers are trash for ruining this guy's career, and now Cleveland's going to ruin this guy's career.
What might have been said. That first question on the upcoming Lexus halftime might be answered. Here's a flag on the play as Crowell over the right side loses one. And it's a hold against the Jets. You get the call from Bogert.
Holding. Offense, number 61. His penalty is declined. Result of the play.
Well, there's news about Tyrod Taylor, Christina.
Well, Tyrod Taylor right now is currently in the blue medical tent. Watch the play here. On this play, went down and slammed his head on the ground. He is inside the tent with the independent neurotrauma consultant, which does indicate that he is being evaluated
He's faking his
for a
injury.
concussion. They watched the hit on the replay monitors, and they're back in the tent talking to him. Joe?
That's why Baker was on the phone. That's why he just kind of sprung to life over there. Here's a big 3rd and 14.
I think Jeremy Bates maybe ought to call a run.
A toss to Crowell, left side out to the 5. That's it.
I think that's a smart call, though, by Jeremy Bates. You're backed up. A lot of bad things can happen. It's 3rd and 14, and the likelihood of being able to throw that for a first down, not very good. You force then the Cleveland Browns to burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So I think that was the right decision offensively. But they do give the Browns an opportunity now here before the half, and it appears that that's going to be Baker Mayfield's debut.
Well, now we know it will be Baker Mayfield's debut as Taylor's being led off the field. The Browns used a timeout. They have 1 timeout left. They're about to get it back, and we are about to see the pro debut, at least in the regular season, of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how they're going to play it now. They should get great field position and, let Baker, I'm sure they're not going to have him handcuffed. Let him do his thing. There's plenty of time. But this should be fun.
Flag is down with Landry back to field the punt inside the 45. And the crowd reacts to the emergence of Baker Mayfield off the bench.
Well, when we saw this schedule, Joe, we thought, hey, week 3 Thursday night.
Some clowns in the stands already bought his fucking jersey without seeing what he actually does. Same morons that bought their Johnny Manziel jerseys before he even stepped on the fucking field. And look at where he's at right now.
They get the holding penalty, so now they're going to back him up a little bit more, but still outstanding field position.
And these people are fucking retards. They buy a fucking jersey without seeing them play.
I said, are you ready to go tonight? He said, I am ready to go if called upon. And this is going to be a fun drive right here.
You just watch here. They're taking Tyrod out. Now they may actually start to run the ball. But this is 2 minutes here, so they're going to pass.
Heisman Trophy winner, former walk-on, finds Landry.
They're going to score before the half, right? 14-0. It is end that equals 14. Right? The rig game. Right? First 14 points of the game. End of a losing streak. Right? Rig game. Scripted game.
for the big tight end.
Rigged game. It's a rigged game.
Problems catching the football.
Rigged.
Down and made a play for his quarterback. 17 yards to Njoku. Looks right, back to his left. Ball is out, picked up by the offensive lineman.
Ooh, that is bang and bang. Why not?
And everything is working for the Browns
right now. I think this is going to come back inside of 2 minutes. A fumble cannot be advanced.
Good call.
Hey, what? People fumble can't be advanced. The fuck is this?
2-minute warning when the ball is fumbled by a player.
The fuck is that? What kind of fucking rule is this?
The ball has been returned to the 43-yard line. Second down, Cleveland.
What kind of fucking rule is this?
Out. Batonio made the pickup and run, but because it's inside 2 minutes, he doesn't get to advance it. And here are the 2 completions by Baker Mayfield.
Well, that first throw of his career, he dropped back, put his foot in the ground, and he turned it loose. I mean, he knew exactly where he was going, was decisive, read the coverage, comes back, would like to have had a better throw to Njoku, but still, a nice pickup. The fumble, he will learn that because the difference in college and pro, one of the big things I learned, he's used to being able to escape the pocket and outrun defensive linemen at Oklahoma. Yeah, that's hard to do. He's a 4'8" guy. He's not going to outrun these defensive linemen. I learned that when Reggie White tracked me down from behind. So he's got to be smart, and he'll figure that out.
So this is a loss of 8 because of that play made by Jordan Jenkins instead of a gain of 9 because it's inside 2 minutes. And now it's second down and 18. No timeouts left for Cleveland. They just took their final timeout with 46 seconds left. Well, they need another chunk of yardage just to get into field goal.
Well, they need to get Greg Joseph's longest field goal is 54 yards. So they need to get to the 36-yard line, which is, 8 yards or whatever it is. And so Baker Mayfield needs to know that. You'd like to keep the drive going, 49 seconds, pick up a first down, get into the end zone, but be smart about it. Any points here is a real positive thing going into halftime.
The Jets get the ball to start the second half. They just picked up their 4th sack. They come on a blitz, pass is caught.
What a throw.
Landry stays up, but he's short of a first down. They can't spike it. It's 3rd down. It would bring up 4th, and Mayfield's going to run a play. To the sideline, and broken up. Callaway, contact, no flag with Claiborne out on the edge. Good play, and now we'll see what the Browns want to do, and they are going to bring on their field goal unit.
He needs to drive this ball down low. If he pulls him back towards the sidelines, it was kind of a... I didn't like the route. He's jogging through the route. With his speed, he should have separation every time he runs a comeback. But they're going to give Greg Joseph an opportunity, and I wonder what he's feeling right now.
Most popular man in Cleveland. If he can hit. For cutting Zane Gonzalez. They were cheering him in the pregame warm-ups. This from 45.
Nice knuckleball. He knuckled that right on the left. It cut towards the center. That's just a great job kicking by that Browns field goal kicker, but even a better job from Baker to drive down.
Hugh Jackson told us when we were talking to him about Greg Joseph, he said, I just want a guy.
Browns losing by 11 to New York Jets at the half. New York 11th ratified states.
His family moved
New York
to Florida.
City.
He was
New York
a
Jets.
terrific kicker at Florida Atlantic. He was cut by the Dolphins in their final cuts.
11 minutes.
Kicking competition on
That
Monday
is the
with Blair Walsh and
significant.
Cairo Santos.
New York in the number 11.
Yeah, and he was in Miami Dolphins training camp. He got cut.
That's
And
why
so
it's
not
11
like
points.
He's kind of coming out of nowhere. He's been kicking
11
the ball
people are
and,
watching this
just
screen
a
right
few weeks
now.
removed from that cut.
Now 10.
But making that field goal, his first, now that's something to build on. He'll
And
be
highly
more confident the next
inferior
time he
there.
has to go take the field and do it again.
Well, here's a mistake. That's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have confidence now, because that's not very good.
He was all fired up and drove it out of
Out
bounds.
of
You're
bounds.
making fun of this.
Kicking team. By rule, the ball be played
Yeah!
to the free kick line. First time.
So 23 seconds left, good field position and a timeout. Here's the field goal, 45 yards. It was not pretty, but it worked.
I thought he yanked it left when it came off his foot, but he found the way. But yeah, now you're setting up the Jets with one timeout, and there's plenty of time now for them to come down and match it and get some points of their own. That's a 40. Big mistake.
Oh, shit. What is that?
Darnold steps into it and throws it out of bounds. In case you're wondering, Myers long 55 yards a week ago. That means getting it to the 37. You hit from 58 during the preseason. So you got to get this ball inside the other 40. They're 20 yards away from that 20 plus. Sam Darnold for the game is 4 for 10. 38 yards. Baker Mayfield on that one drive.
Good stuff.
Threw for more yardage. 3 for 4 for 47. Quick throw. Pass is caught out on the edge, and that's Herndon, the tight end. 14 seconds and a timeout. There's time left.
Yeah, there is timeout. Greg Williams, he's not coming after him. Greg Williams will, if he starts to get the ball into field goal range, and he'll then come after him and try to create a negative play. Right now, playing conservative, playing coverage, force the ball out quickly, and hopefully they'd like to rally and keep them in bounds and force them to use this last timeout.
3rd down and 3, and that was a miscommunication and nearly picked. Terrence Mitchell in coverage with Pryor the target, and Mitchell was in better position than Pryor.
Terrence Mitchell, I think he's been a real upgrade for them at that corner position at 4th and 3 now.
The punt team comes on, and this half is going to, barring the unforeseen, Landry back will end 14-3.
Yeah, a little surprised. I mean, Sam Darnold does not have the strongest arm. I've said it before. He has plenty of arm, but he doesn't have this just cannon of an arm, and that's probably why they're not taking a shot on a Hail Mary.
Here's a drive out of bounds. We'll have a snap, and that should be it. But I'll tell you, there is life here in the stadium. There is life on that sideline because number 6 is in the game. You just got the sense for that one drive, everybody just kind of picked it up for the Browns on offense.
Yeah, you felt it, and they were feeding off this crowd too, because the crowd had a little more enthusiasm themselves. I would think they'll just take a knee here, but they'll go in, they'll discuss what the game plan's going to be. Todd Haley will, and they'll come out and let it rip, and it should be a fun 30 minutes of ball.
The Jets will start the second half with the football. They'll be leading by 11. Stay tuned for the Lexus halftime report. What to expect.
The all-new Lexus ES is stolen, hijacked from dreams.
Mickey's Slam Curtains. Mickey's. We got a shower up here. This is halftime right now. Excuse me.
Everything we could from everything we've ever
That
mastered.
Mickey's was small. I'll be back.
Lexus ES, every curve, every innovation, every feeling, a product of mastery.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win. All right, guys, I'm here. Tell you what I want to talk about.
Lawrence really was all about winning.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun. He had a dramatic effect on professional football.
Oh, Lawrence, the magician.
That's my boy! That huge personality took our talent to a higher level. I'm a person that's been on the top and has been on the bottom and keeps climbing back. I just wanna celebrate. NFL Network presents the Lexus Halftime Report. Here's your host, Colleen Wolfe.
So the Jets with the early lead here, 14-3.
say, Ricky? Whoa!
Pigs. I knew you'd drink it. They're bringing it. How about you? What do you bring? Clock is running 38 seconds and counting. Back to throw goes Palmer. Looks over the middle, throws end zone for Fitz, goes up, and makes the game-winning catch.
Tearing that 49er D. Yeah. Hell yeah! Fuck the Niners! We are your daddy!
Freshness? You know how the ATL do?
Bring that way.
Can I bring my swag? Superpowers?
Hello.
Can I bring my crew?
Bring them.
We meet again. Tonight, baby. Hey, baby. Let us see me this up on crazy.
Shut up, boys. Definitely bring that. They're bringing it. How about you? What do you bring?
The second half is about to get underway, so grab a fresh
Not the second half yet. It's been quick trash
enjoy responsibly.
Hope we don't kick off right now.
And welcome back to you. Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light. 14-3 game at the half. Third quarter about to start. Jets will start the second half with the football. Welcome you inside the booth. I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. So obviously a lot of drama left in this game with Baker Mayfield now taking over for Cleveland. On the other side, the Jets have been able to run the ball. They have not really been able to throw it with much success at all.
Well, I think both defenses have really done a pretty good job. The Jets essentially have put together one drive for a touchdown. The other one was because of the blocked field goal. I think this drive for Cleveland is going to be big defensively because they're facing a Jets offense that has outscored their opponent 37-7 in the third quarter, and they've scored touchdowns on their opening possession to start the third quarter. So they've had success in the first two games coming out at halftime. Cleveland, if they're able to make a stop, get the ball back to Baker Mayfield, and then see what happens. But I'm optimistic. I just feel that Baker Mayfield is going to be able to do some things. I like his moxie, and I expect Cleveland to get back in this game.
You heard Troy Aikman. I expect Cleveland to get back in this game. So 14-10.
After talking to Hugh Jackson at the half, Tyrod Taylor has officially ruled out after being evaluated for a concussion. But when I asked him about the performance of his rookie quarterback on
I'll go with 14.
for 47 yards, he stopped me and said, "Did you feel the energy?" He said, "Balls completed, balls thrown into windows." He said, "We have to see that in the second half." He said he never doubted the composure of Mayfield taking the field, Joe.
All right, thank you, Christina.
Now,
Starting from
I hope you understand why I'm going with this. I'm going to go with this score.
12 has to avoid the rush and a sack and is able to complete it to the side.
Wow, he completed that ball.
Crowell. And on first down, a gain of 7. Aaron Andrews, what did you learn?
Todd Bowles telling me his team did look at quite a bit of film of Baker Mayfield in preparation for this game, but he said, "I don't care what quarterback is in. My defense's game plan stays the same." He said, "Forget the quarterbacks. I'm going to talk to my team about penalties for this offense, like the way they ran the ball, likes the way they were physical, hopes to continue it here in the second half."
Tyrod Taylor is just a pile of shit. And the Browns didn't try to establish a running game during the first half. They're just pissing away. That is actually a pretty damn good defense that Cleveland has.
A loss of 3, 36.
And the Jets are just proud of line of scrimmage since Tyrod Taylor is a stupid bum whose first instinct is to just try to run with it when he's facing
The
pressure.
Saints had a chance for a third. He gets an interior push. He has really been something, and that was a really good play there. Him filling
Come on, Clowns!
3 out of 6.
At Sam Darnold, he's been carried by Isaiah Crowell all game long.
Blitz coming from the Browns. Darnold steps through it. Unloads, has a first down and a catch by Crowell.
Crowell is carrying him. As I said a few
By the way,
seconds
just
ago.
something to keep in mind as you look at this replay of the 10-yard completion, there are two
What do you
players
do
for
for
the
Cleveland,
Jets.
right? You stop
Crowell being
number
one of
20.
The other, Tremaine Johnson. Each one unsportsmanlike
Crowell
conduct.
probably has 15 or 20 points, and my opponent has him on his bench.
That's new for 2017 too, and you're out.
I mean, this is just former game. It's just you're asking for it.
Reminded of that by their respective coaches. Powell gets it on a toss running right. Burgess is there to make the stop, but he hit on that right leg, and James is in pain. He sure is. He makes a great play on that. He's been in the middle of a lot of action in the backfield. And
You hate to see guys hurt like that.
Oh.
Legs get tangled up.
Hit his right knee. Ugly injury to James Burgess.
See what kind of rally Baker has, but let's see, 19, then
Ever notice that the farther away you go, the closer
so
together you
maybe
feel?
this one could go.
Memories built to last in the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yeah, so this extra.
Howdy, folks. For under $20, you can fill up with KFC's 10-piece chicken feast and even have some leftover in case a guest drops by. Motorcycle at the table? I do not approve! It's 10-piece, and it's a feast.
In 1989, the CDMA system was being tested for the first time. Other wireless carriers considered the tech too expensive, but we saw it as the birth of reliability and the backbone for a company we know as Verizon. Today, once again, we're transforming reliability with the first 5G ultra-wideband network, enabling the lowest latency ever experienced, which is crucial because we'll be relying on it more than ever.
Bridgestone Drive Guard tires are engineered to come through in the clutch. And NFL coach John Gruden is going to help us prove it. I got this. If you take a hit, you got to get back up. Actually, Drive Guard tires can take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles to safety. Guess my pep talk worked.
You're probably wondering how I, Jonathan Jones, got here. The play starts like any other. I'm a step behind the receiver, but with my 40 time, you know I catch up. Then, boom. This dude reaches back in time to make a catch, and True View technology captures it all in 360 degrees. I mean, I can defend anyone, but this catch is ridiculous.
Touchdown! See every side of the play. Go to NFL.com/TrueView.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL, and by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL.
Well, somehow, despite that ugly contact with his right leg, James Burgess smiling over on the sideline as he gets looked at in the medical tent. Now second down and 11. Jabril Peppers back in the game for the Browns. Darnold keeps it, throws it to the sideline and out of bounds. Robbie Anderson. So third down and 11. We'll see what they're able to do here. He had a chance on the outside. That's one of the throws that has really gotten away from him. I have been impressed with Sam Darnold. We saw a few plays earlier with some pressure, and there's a good look at Jeremy Bates, and some pressure in his face, and yet he is navigating the rush, but yet not staring at the rush, and that's a great sign. A lot of young quarterbacks stare at the rush. You miss a lot of throws. Sam's been able to make some key throws under pressure. Third and 11, and this one sails over the head of Jermaine Kearse. And Sam Darnold, no good tonight so far, 7 for 16. And the only wide receiver with a catch is Quincy Enunwa.
Yeah, I think that throw there, the coverage was really good, and even if they had have completed it, it was not going to be enough for a first down. And I think Sam just did not like the relationship between the receiver and the defensive back, and wisely just threw it away. Lachlan Edwards to punt. Landry from inside the 10, and there'll be a flag for that block. You saw just as Landry made the catch. 54-yard punt, 14 yards on the return. Let's see who it was against. There it is, out on the edge, Denzel Rice. Come on. Doesn't get any easier than that.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 37. After this is the goal. First down.
Well, so now we'll watch Baker Mayfield, and what he can do is he's backed up. How good has Patrick Mahomes been? 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. The 10 touchdowns, a record for the season's first 2 games. Second-year player. And he was drafted by John Dorsey, who is now the general manager here in Cleveland. I don't know what all happened in Kansas City and why John Dorsey is no longer there, but he did a great job building that team, and Patrick Mahomes was an outstanding pick. And what we've seen, here's Hyde with his carry on first down. You saw that last note. Patrick Mahomes did a sit-down with Peter Schrager. You'll see that on Sunday, gain of 8 for Carlos Hyde. Schrager's everywhere. That was a good first down run. There's a look at John Dorsey and the owner Jim Haslam. And John Dorsey, you know, it's early. We all understand that. But he's done a remarkable job. He had a lot of draft picks to work with. But I think he's done a remarkable job in his first season building this Cleveland team. Second down and 2. A first down carry by Carlos Hyde.
You go, Carlos. You know shit if you think Hyde sucks. He's just not been given the ball, and that's why the offensive coordinator. If you give him 20 rushes, he gets 110 yards. Okay? That long run's got to happen eventually. That's a lot of diminishing return. He needs help out as rookie quarterback.
Baker Mayfield is what they thought.
Nice play. Nice play action play.
To the tight end, Njoku.
Nice play design concept.
A nice quick throw out to the 35, good for 19.
I think it surprised a lot of people, Joe, when the Cleveland Browns took Baker Mayfield. The safe pick was Sam Darnold, and with all the history of quarterbacks they missed on, you'd think they would go with the safe pick. I've said it before. Jimmy Johnson said you can take the safe pick and be good, or you can take a chance and be great. And there's no question that John Dorsey making the selection with Baker Mayfield with the idea that pick is going to give this organization a chance to be great.
There's a little hesitation in the backfield, and Hyde.
Play action would have been better in that situation.
Well, the draft history here recently for the Browns is not good. This is hard to believe. 11 players drafted in the first round between 2009 and 2016. 0 remain on the roster. And John Dorsey, whether it was his time in Kansas City, really cut his teeth with the Green Bay Packers in their front office, or here with the Cleveland Browns, he will draft some players that are on the do not draft list of other teams. Worked with Tyreek Hill in Kansas City, and they hope it works with Antonio Callaway here with the Browns as Rashard Higgins makes the catch, gain of 5.
Well, there's definitely a different energy with this offense with Baker Mayfield at the helm. You know, the ball's coming out quicker. Guys seem to be getting to the line faster than they were. You know, the playbook doesn't change that much, but, you know, Mayfield's a 4'8" guy. He's elusive, but they're not going to do some of the same things that you do with a guy like Tyrod Taylor and his ability to scramble.
They're down in 5. Little pump fake. Here's Mayfield scrambling. Flag is thrown. Pass is caught for a first down by Duke Johnson. His first catch of the game. Flag in the secondary, and it's against the Jets. The play will stand. Gain of 9.
Well, Well, this is the stuff that Baker Mayfield can do. He's working to his left. Where the penalty came in is what he was looking at.
Number 43. His total decline. The result of the play is a first down.
It's not there. He's able to get out, and this is what was impressive. Like I said, you time him in the 40 and you test him on a lot of things, you're not coming away real impressed. But he's got a Tony Romo-like quality that he's able to just extend plays, make people miss in the pocket, and find guys open down the field.
Hand off to Johnson running left, and he's back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, and now a fight breaks out in the secondary.
I'm surprised there's no flag there.
You can see Perry Nickerson was involved with Jarvis Landry, and that's what started it. Like you said, there's no flag. Play clock is running on 2nd down and 9.
Well, disappointing losses for both these teams. A short week, which was probably good, that they can just get back out onto the field and try to get that bad taste out of their mouth. But like we've said, week 3, Cleveland looked at this game, said, hey, this is a winnable game for us. The Jets looked at this game, said, this is a winnable game for us. And to further their season in a positive way, a lot of pressure right here tonight.
Mayfield out to his right, looking for somebody to come back, and the pass is off the hands of Orson Charles. We've seen that a couple of times. Mayfield able to avoid the rush, out to his right, threw a bullet, but it was not corralled by Charles.
He's trying to get Orson Charles to come back. This one got away from him a little bit. Still one that Charles should be able to catch. You're rolling to your right, and as a right-hander, when you throw it with the rotation of the ball then sails out to the right. So you got to lead him a little bit more inside to keep it in play, but still one that very easily could have been caught.
I tell you, that could have been easily called on Frankie Luvu, the linebacker. Low hit on Mayfield at the end of that play. Pass is caught. Callaway, and a nice tackle. Good work by J.J. Wilcox, and with that strong tackle, as the crowd is begging Hugh Jackson to go for it, stop short of the first down, and a punt coming from the Browns.
Yeah, I like this call by Hugh Jackson as much as you'd like to go for it. Doug Peterson would be going for it here, but the Browns aren't the Eagles. But a good job by Baker Mayfield hanging in there. They brought pressure. He got it out, but he's able to make one guy miss. He was off and running.
Colquitt drives it out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. The answer is at the 12. 33-yard punt. Jets leading by 11 with the football. 7.5 left, third quarter.
Wrangler jeans are made for those who roll with the times. Like this guy. And her. And him. And these two. Whether it's play, work, or a little of both. New styles, great fits. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
Geico has over 75 years of great savings and service. With such a long history, it's easy to trust Geico. Thank you, Todd. It's not just easy. It's being a master of hypnotism easy. Hey, I got your text. Sleep. Doug, when I snap my fingers, you're going to clean my gutters. Ooh, I should clean your gutters. Great idea.
It's not just easy, it's Geico easy.
Todd, you go make me a frittata.
Applebee's new 3-course meal starting at $11.99. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Hey, if you're feeling a little power hungry, check out the engine lineup Ford is
Check out the
hooking up for the
comments tab
Ford
again on my
F-150.
screen.
You want the most torque? You got it. You want the best towing?
1714.
Maybe you want best-in-class fuel economy. No problem. How about a brand spanking new diesel?
Looking more like that. Looking more like that. If the spread is 3 points and the game ends in a push, I can easily see why that can be the
running
case.
38 seconds and counting. Looks over the middle, throws end zone for Fitz, goes up, and makes the game-winning catch. Larry Legend does it again. Touchdown, Cardinals win. Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light. Last time the Browns had it, I talked about that hit by Frankie Lou, threw out on the edge on Baker Mayfield during the break. Mike Pereira reminding that you lose that low hit protection when out of the pocket. And so rightly no call. Yellow! And this one is an easy call on a false start against the Jets.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Former Seahawk James Carpenter, and we'll see the Seahawks, as Troy alluded to earlier in the game, this weekend at home against the Dallas Cowboys. And Russell Wilson's already been sacked 12 times. He faced Von Miller in Denver, Khalil Mack in Chicago, and now he's got that terrific front for the Dallas Cowboys coming to town.
Yeah, they lead the league in sacks, so it does not get any easier for Russell Wilson and company.
From the 7, handoff to Powell, running left, breaks through some tackles. He's out to 14, a gain of 7. Aaron Andrews, pretty special relationship between Sam Darnold and his backup, Josh McCown.
Yeah, it's a real brotherly relationship. Hi, Troy Aikman. 18-year gap between the two of them. Josh telling me today, guy keeps me really young. Updates me on Instagram filters, you know, the boomerang. Great story. He said, out of the building, this guy's 21. I'm helping him out with dry cleaning. In the building, it's like he's been in the league for 10 years.
McCown, who had a pretty good year last year, was the team MVP, is voted on by the players.
False start. He's gonna, just purposely false start, so he can set the game for Baker.
Snap.
Last year.
False start. Offense, number 83. Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
What I thought was great, Joe, was Teddy Bridgewater was here in camp as well, and they said that Josh McCown, in his 16th year, didn't feel like he really needed the reps, didn't need the work to get ready to play. Said, hey, I'll be ready by week 1. Let the young kids, let Sam Darnold, let Teddy Bridgewater, who hadn't played much in recent years, let them get to work, and really an unselfish thing, especially for a guy who had been the starter last year and was willing to concede the position to the first-round pick.
They turned Bridgewater into a third-round pick. The Saints, here's a nice throw and catch. And a first down, the ball is out. Anderson made the catch.
Yep.
Denzel Ward, the
Rigged.
rookie, takes it inside the 10.
Hopefully Carlos Hyde scores a touchdown by imagine. Baker's probably going to score. This does not surprise me, by the way.
And another takeaway by
This does not surprise me. It is a rigged game. He fumbles, he chokes. 11-point deficit. Here it is. Rigged game, rigged fumble. That's what it's about.
So they're very opportunistic. They go at it. The ball has bounced in their favor when they have gotten it on the ground. I was wondering if Greg Williams was going to bring pressure with Darnold backed up. He did not, but they're able to take advantage of Robbie Anderson, put the ball on the ground, and we'll see now whether or not Cleveland, they've had a hard time scoring points off of these takeaways by their defense. They need to get a touchdown here.
Anderson injured on that play with a towel up to his face, saw some blood. Denzel Ward was the pick right after Sam Darnold.
Anderson is a
And
criminal.
took it
He's got
right out of the
one
arms of Anderson. First and goal now. With the ball at the 8. They hand it to Hyde. Lost the yard. Avery Williamson has had a very good game. Got through to make the play.
This Jets defense, they're flying off the ball. You got Jordan Jenkins, he's in the backfield, and a lot of times when you make that first guy miss, then there's nobody there to recover for him. But they had Morris Claiborne was there and very physical attacking this offensive line and getting into the backfield for much of this game.
That's his 8th tackle, Williamson, in this game.
Go along with a couple sacks.
Yeah, they gave him 1.5, 2 tackles for loss. The game he's at. Mayfield in trouble and throws it away. So now 3rd down and goal.
Just really good coverage downfield. The protection was good, but the Jets secondary just plastered to their guys and didn't give them anywhere to go with the football.
Sometimes when you pick a quarterback first overall, it works out. The Jets know it with Namath back in 65, Bradshaw with the Steelers in 70, you with the Dallas Cowboys in 89, Elway with the Broncos in that great draft of 83. Mayfield is the guy for the Browns, former Heisman Trophy winner, end zone, and nearly picked. Doug Middleton had a shot
14-6. That's a lovely call if he makes that field goal.
And out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield just never saw Doug Middleton, and the reason is there was a crosser that's coming across the field, and I think it just shielded the defender, and he thought he had middle of the field wide open, and Middleton could have snuffed out that drive right there.
1 for 1 is Greg Joseph. First week with the Browns. 27-yard try. The snap, the whole kick is, barely good inside the left upright.
Hugh Jackson will take it.
Yeah. So will these fans. A couple of white knucklers from Greg Joseph. But it's an 8-point game in Cleveland.
The Corona hotline is back, people. New year, new operator, same hotline. Romo here.
Tony, my fantasy team is down. I can't even watch. What do I do?
All right, grab a Corona.
Got it.
Now go back and sit with your friends. Done. And boom!
We can see a push, 17 to 14 here.
Watching the game is all you can do.
But you're good at it. I am. Thanks, Tony.
Good talk.
Call now to find your game day beach.
This one had a little bit of everything.
Time to rock and roll!
How amazing.
It's a pleasure, man.
All right, I like that. Is this their game? Is this their Super Bowl? I can't wait to see this matchup.
What does he need to do to win it?
That's priceless. You can't get that from a lot of people. Ready? I'm ready to go. All right, let's do it. Hey, baby, let's go out there and have some fun. The guy has been able to do it all.
Can we talk football?
The NFL draft is officially open.
Who's the most dynamic football player? Hey, oh my goodness, he caught it!
It is all on the line.
Looking left, fires for the end zone. Reaches up, pulls it down. It's time to take the next step on our journey.
Watch any NFL game on demand with NFL Game Pass.
Go get
Full game replays.
That's the touchdown catch of the year.
Coaches film.
Let's get to this next play here. Reaches out, make the catch.
Condensed games.
Skies into the end zone.
NFL Films Archive.
How about them Cowboys?
NFL football. Anytime, anywhere. With NFL Game Pass. Start your free trial today. Sunday at 9. Kurt Warner goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
And what drives him to be successful.
There's less failure. There's less success in what it's going to look like.
NFL Game Day morning. Sunday at 9, live on NFL Network.
Well, after throwing for 334 yards last week at home against Miami, not so good so far for Sam Darnold.
I'd rather see a one-on-one with Andrew Luck or Carson Wentz.
Through the air than Darnold. First pick taken on the third pick in this past draft, and it's an 8-point game here in Cleveland. Under 5.5 to go. Third quarter on Thursday Night Football. Roberts will take it out. Wise decision or no? Wise decision. Flag on the
We'll
play.
call this back there.
And that will likely cost the Jets some yards. Jake gains on the stop after a 36-yard return.
During the return, holding, return team, number 89, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, tonight after the postgame show, Von Miller leads the league in sacks, and he'll join NFL Total Access to talk about the Broncos' 2-0 start. NFL Total Access tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network. Troy, how would you assess your third start in your NFL career? We know the story as a happy
I wouldn't have known, but you guys were kind enough to remind me with a graphic last night. And then, like I said, I hope it was the worst game of my career, because if it wasn't, then I can't imagine any worse numbers than these.
Darnold drops it off. The tight end Tomlinson makes the catch. Looked like it got deflected into his arms, and a nice play as Ogunjobi makes the stop after 14 yards. And here were your numbers. Third career start and a quarterback rating of...
Well, the good news is that was also my grade point average in high school. So I'll take a game of 4.0, like one game. Man. Surely we got some highlights of something good, don't we? Sprinkle in.
No, we haven't seen it enough with your one finger up running around in the Super Bowl. Here's Crowell. Am I wrong in saying that your third start, didn't you go up to the line and actually put your hands under the guards?
Crawford Kerr.
Yeah, and rear end instead of the center.
They're in a hurry-up offense, no huddle, and I lost track of where I was on the line. I put my hands under the left guard, which because you only imagine how that maybe spooked him.
Oh my God!
He called everybody daddy. Everybody's daddy this, daddy that, and all he said was he kind of looked back and said, "It ain't me, daddy." So I felt different. I will tell you that. I should have known.
2nd and 7. That hasn't happened to Darnold. This one is tipped away with Enunwa the target, and a third down coming up again.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about Sam Darnold and visiting with Jeremy Bates, the offensive coordinator. He said when he comes in for the meetings right from the beginning, he doesn't write notes. He does not take notes in the meetings, and I've never heard of that. And Jeremy Bates was getting really frustrated. He's getting angry about it, saying this guy's our number one pick, and he's not writing notes. But they go out on the practice field. He never forgets anything. It's the way that he's always been. Very smart. His work ethic is incredible. And it's just pretty impressive that the guy can just absorb it by hearing it and doesn't have to take notes to remember it.
Blitz coming. 3rd down and 7. Darnold to his right, broken up.
Maybe he should take some notes with the way he's playing this game. How about that? Because Sam Darnold's not playing well at all. And as I've said, he's been carried by Isaiah Crowell all game long.
Initially that they would use him just as a pass rusher,
the best game
and a pass rush specialist here in his rookie season. But he's played a lot more snaps than they thought.
I mean, it'll be exciting because it's Cleveland winning the game. Right?
I think he's
already
a really good player for a young guy. Another one of those young draft picks by John Dorsey that has shown up.
It is Landry from inside the 25 to the 30. Jets defense right back out on the field. Frustrating night tonight for Darnold, but he and the Jets lead by 8.
The all-new Lexus ES is stolen.
Game on here. Give it to your tank.
Pulled from decades.
All those high. Let's go. That's what's needed here.
We confess we stole everything we could from everything we've ever mastered and put it here. The all-new Lexus ES. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling, a product of mastery.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
So the game was tense, all right? 7 seconds left, down 3, 4th and 3. Only option he has, field goal, tie it up, force OT.
Oh my God, this is too good.
But Will decided to run an even crazy play. Touchdown!
Will's play call became legendary.
Quavo loved it so much, name dropped him on a track.
I'm a legend like Will. Will's play call got its own ESPN 30 for 30s and a chain. I'm a legend like Will.
Heck of a play.
Rated E for everyone.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Because calling a dream crazy is not an insult, it's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest in your school. Be the fastest ever. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football, play it. And if you're a girl from Compton, become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
Good Morning Football, tomorrow at 7, live on NFL Network.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by the all-new Lexus ES, a product of Mastery. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
There were 174 touchdowns league-wide through the first two games, the most ever through the first 2 weeks in the history of the league. A different feel to this game.
Come on, run it to Carlos Hyde.
Higgins. And a gain of 9. And a spark when number 6 came in for the injured Tyrod Taylor.
We've seen a few balls get away from Baker Mayfield, which is a little unusual. A lot of people don't know. This guy was a 70% completion passer. His last 2 seasons at Oklahoma is extremely accurate, has a really strong arm. He can fire it.
Here is a handoff to Hyde. That's the hurdle and tackler. He's lucky to get half a yard. He pulled the ball back about a yard after that catch by Higgins on the far sideline. Then Hyde gets half a yard, so 3rd and 2.
Well, 3rd and 2 has not been a good down for them here tonight. 3rd down, but see what they can do.
They hurry it up. Late substitution for the Jets on defense.
Hey, they got to go 5-4.
Flag on the play. Pass is caught by Landry. He's got a first down for the moment inside the 45.
Well, I like what Baker Mayfield wanted to do.
Defense, number 21. Just doing his decline. He was up to the play.
Yes, it's on the call.
One-on-one out here, and that's where the call came on Morris Claiborne, and so that's a mismatch. You've got a guy who can run 4-4, and then he's up against Morris Claiborne, and he just couldn't get off the press coverage. They get the penalty because he's holding them. But I like that Mayfield sees it. He wants to take a shot on 3rd and short, but still gets off of it for the completion, even though the penalty got it anyway.
Handoff to Hyde with a throw on the right side. And a first down for the Browns as they trail by 8. The Jets defense has been great, not good, great tonight. Holding up after the turnover. Getting a field goal attempt by Cleveland after that 1st and goal. Now a little room for the Browns to operate as Callaway is out of bounds at the 30, forced out by Johnson.
Well, Callaway, as we know, when they trade former first-rounder Corey Coleman in camp, and then this past week they trade Josh Gordon to the New England Patriots, it becomes Antonio Callaway's show, opposite of Jarvis Landry. And this guy was a first-round talent. He had some off-the-field issues that dropped him to the 4th, but he has unique abilities. And if they can get that out of him and kind of harness some of that energy that he has, he could turn into a really good pick in the 4th round.
Here's one.
Wow. Come on, Carlos.
What a catch.
This is unbelievable. First of all, the throw is the only place it could be. But that is not.
That was an NFL throw right there.
When you've got Doug
Only
Middleton,
place where the ball can be, he delivers it.
That's a great job. Those are the balls that Jarvis Jarvis Landry, you almost expect him to make them every time because he does it so frequently.
Sets up first and goal from the 1. High, trying to take it in.
Yeah! Yeah!
After the 29-yarder to Jarvis Landry. Hyde has his third of the year.
Carlos!
We'll see what the Browns want to do. Down by 2. Mayfield stays out there.
This was 230 pounds of all Carlos Hyde. There's 3 Jets defenders that hit him before the line, and he just plows his way through. That is a great finish to the run, and yeah, this is the right call here by Hugh Jackson. Sometimes, you get into it and you say, well, wait till the 4th, but right now, winding down the 3rd, I think this is the right time to go.
Callaway at the bottom of the screen. This to tie it. Mayfield. Flags. Ball is out and into the arms of one of the Jets. That's Itachu. And there are 2 flags on the play. Touchdown set up by the longest play of the night by either side. The 29-yarder to Jarvis Landry and a great throw and catch.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Holding, defense, number 21. Holding, offense. These fouls offset, redo the try.
So they get another crack at it. There's the hold against Desmond Harrison, and here's Claiborne.
Claiborne's he got called a couple times, on this possession. He knows the kind of quickness that Callaway has. We'll see what Todd Haley and this offense wants to do here on this second try.
Njoku comes in tight in this formation.
It's like pressure off the edge.
Little trick play and the throw to Baker Mayfield to tie the game.
But that was nicely done. That's a beautiful play.
Is that Cleveland? I'm really calling that one.
It has tied this game as Mayfield is there for the catch and the left-handed throw by Landry. 14-14. Instant life from Baker Mayfield. Direct snap to Duke Johnson. Flip to Landry. Who flipped it to Mayfield in the end zone.
The difference between that one, of course, and Philly was Trey Burton threw that for the Eagles. He's right-handed, so they went the other direction. But here with Jarvis Landry as a left-hander, then you want him going to his left, but opposite direction, same result. A little different circumstances, but we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
Philly playing the Super Bowl right before the half.
Big time.
This one with under a minute to go, third quarter.
I tell you, though, this might feel like a Super Bowl for these Browns tonight.
635 days since their last win. They're seeing the number 1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield. Help the Browns tie this game.
Well, we said, hey, this crowd was looking to have a party tonight, and it got awfully quiet shortly after, anyway, opening kickoff. But they're alive and well and letting themselves be heard now.
Roberts will take a knee. How about the throw and catch? Mayfield to Landry for 29 yards to set up the touchdown.
Big time. Big time throw, and it probably got a little more inside than what Mayfield wanted. But Middleton, he's got his hand in there, and yet the strong hands right there by Jarvis Landry. I mean, if he ball's in his vicinity, there's a good chance he's coming down with it. And then, of course, the throw, and It's really good. There's a lot of good stuff that happened on that drive,
including, at least from Cleveland's perspective, the offsetting penalties on the first 2-point try that gave them another opportunity, and Mayfield was there on the receiving end. So tie game, under a minute to go, third quarter. And on to Powell running right, and a nice start, gain of 9. Last 5 possessions for the Jets. I've been thoroughly impressed with their defense. Offense cannot get any traction here against Greg Williams and his Browns defense.
Yeah, and that was the case last week. They just struggled to kind of get things going against the Dolphins. And, you know, of course, they got those takeaways against Detroit. Game got away from the Lions pretty quickly, but the yards have been really hard to come by for this Jets offense.
This is a tie game through 3. Thursday Night Football will return after this.
I don't care where we go, and I don't care what we do. Just take me with you.
There are roadside attractions, and then there's our world-famous on-road attraction, the 2019 GLC. Lease the GLC 300 for just $469 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Howdy, folks. For under $20, you can fill up with KFC's 10-piece chicken feast and even have some left over in case a guest drops by. Motorcycle at the table? I do not approve! It's 10-piece, and it's a feast.
It's the tasty berry flavor, so yell, Hail Berry when you toss it.
And then we can have a Rita, right, Ritas?
That's how we do it, Maddie.
Hurry, Lefty, she's almost out of range.
Baker time. Baker time.
I got it.
Yeah.
Now let's access the score.
Let's do this.
14-14. That's 28 points. 31-14. That'd be 35 points. Now, this drought that equals 39. I think the reason why Jets are going to lose this game, drought equals 39. Drought equals 39 in Gematria, and it is New York that equals 39. So drought ending against New York is just really perfect. And at the very beginning of this chat, I did say that 1-1-1 would be a perfect record because New York equals 111. Now, this is why the Browns are the lock of the week. The Browns are the lock of the week because of Gematria and Kabbalah. In fact, not only does New York and drought relate to it, but also 39 points from last week. 21-18 New Orleans. That was 39 points total in the game. So the NFL is rigged, and the Colts and the Eagles is the big game of the week. I see Andrew Luck and company pulling through.
Brought down by Demarius Randall, and a big carry of 21 yards for number 29.
This is that zone blocking scheme that they run for the Jets, and you stretch it, and then once you see the crease, you take it, and Bilal Powell, he's got the speed and the ability. Once he sees the crease, bam, he's in there, and it's a nice run.
45 yards.
For Bilal Powell.
Jets are now over 100 yards on the ground. This time Powell swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. That 21-yarder, the longest play of the game for the Jets, as Schobert made that last tackle, 2nd and 10.
Now they bring, you see Bilal Powell, he comes off the field, and then they go with Isaiah Crowell, and it's a nice tandem that they have. And as I said earlier, they've got so much confidence in both of these guys. There's no situation that one guy is specific for, and they just rotate them through.
2nd and 10, Darnold. Nowhere to go with it.
He's running backwards.
Just able to get
Out
to
of
the
bounds.
sideline and incomplete, even though it was hauled in by Jordan Leggett.
You knew what was going to happen, right?
Darnold, he's done that a couple of times in this game.
You guys knew what was going to happen.
He ends up finding somebody on the sideline as he's scrambling for his life. And some of that.
The 11th inning of this Nationals Mets game, the game ending 11 innings, I think it does. I'm paying attention to that game.
And I know that he's an improviser, and that's what he was able to do. And but then there's a tendency to get a little reckless with the ball as well. And that ball, that was not a real well-advised throw that he tried to fit in there.
Just got it away on 3rd down and 10. Darnold, sideline, good throw. Pass is caught by Curse. Exactly what the Jets needed, and one of the best throws.
They'll probably miss a field goal or something here.
Darnold, a gain of 14.
It was great. He just knew right where he was going with the football. He saw the coverage. He knew he had one-on-one on the outside, corner soft. And
Ryan Zimmerman with the double. The game ended 11 innings.
That's excellent. It's
New York.
a perfectly thrown ball to
11th ratified state. New York City 11 letters.
First catch of the game for Curse.
Yeah.
Inside field goal range. The first down at the 31. Toss to Crowell running left. Ran into 3 Cleveland Browns, including Schobert. Corner Terrence Mitchell was out there as well, gain of 4.
Well, it's a nice drive right now for the Jets. You've got the Browns who go down the field and they tie the game up and score 14 unanswered. And now the Jets, they are mounting a drive of their
48
own.
yards this drive. Donald Trump equals 48, the native of Queens. Queens. New Yorkers. They tend to be, Mets and Jets.
For a score, and other than that, they really haven't had much.
Toss to Crowell, left side.
Cleveland's just shooting their gap. They're shooting their gap. They're doing a great job there. Now it's about getting double A gap pressure on 3rd down. That's the identity.
I think that I haven't seen as
of
much
my
from
Arizona
Greg Williams
Cardinals.
as I expected. Just some of the all-out, let's go after this guy. But right here, and with the ball at the 28-yard line, I can see where Greg Williams wants to dial something up, create a negative play, and try to knock them out of field goal range.
3rd down and 7.
He's going to want to force a turnover. That's classic Greg Williams.
Darnold. Got a block and has a big first down. Derek Kindred on the stop, but a well-designed play out on the edge with blocking in front for 11 yards.
Well, we've seen it over and over. You've got Curse, who's out
The only
there,
thing Sam
and the
Darnold
guy
can
who
complete
then
is screen passes.
Enunwa is T.J. Carey, and he gets caught up on the outside, which creates this running lane on the inside. And we've seen it now throughout this game 3 or 4 times, a quick pass that's gone for good yardage, and this time a first down.
What a good block by Spencer Long out there to help with the 11-yard catch and run. Here's Powell. Powell back to the line of scrimmage. First guy there was Ogunjobi. By the way, that for the wide receiver in Enunwa. 3 first down catches on 3rd down. So when Darnold needs a play, he looks for 81.
Yeah, he really likes him. And hey, Enunwa, he didn't get to play last year. He had the neck surgery. He came off the 2016 season doing a lot of really good things. They missed him, but you see the way he runs with the football. It's no wonder why they want to get the ball in his hands. You mentioned Spencer Long. What a good pickup. He's had some really nice blocks on a number of occasions, getting out in space to spring Enunwa.
10th play of this drive, and it's a negative play as Chris Smith makes the stop on Powell. A loss of 2.
He's just able to win at the line of scrimmage. He was able to to work through Brian Winters, the right guard. And Smith he's one of those guys that wasn't on the team last year either. Very versatile. They're able to play him a lot of different positions. Right now, Greg Williams is saying, all right, let's just keep them short of a first down and force them to try to come away with just 3.
3rd down and 12. Passes over the middle and caught, but short of a first down by Jermaine
Field
Kearse.
goal try here.
It's 4th down. And the field goal unit comes on for the Jets, trying to regain the lead.
It's a great job by Derek Kindred. He's the 3rd safety for them, and he's playing deep. And when the ball comes out, he has to hit it, get going, and make a play, and not let Kearse get to the chains. And he makes a good tackle there in the open field.
28-yard drive here.
What do you make, 4 out of 5 field goals? A lot like Donald Trump, the New York native, being the 45th president of the United States?
Jets back on top.
But he makes it.
Good game, under 9 to go here in Cleveland. Darnold, solid drive. Gets points on the board, and the Jets up by 3.
We would like to offer you the position. You got the job.
Really?
Who's Houston?
I gotta get some clothes. Hi, I'm Derek. Oh, is it Casual Friday? Sorry, guys. I think we can leverage this opportunity. Does anyone know the dial-in? Oh, thanks, sir. I like your pants, too.
Being a Verizon engineer is about doing things right. And there's no shortcut to the right way. So when we roll out the nation's first 5G network, it'll be because we were the first to install millions of miles of fiber optics. And we'll be the first to upgrade the towers and put up the small cells that will power the smart cities of the future. When I started at Verizon, I knew I was joining a team that was pushing the industry forward. Now, with the launch of the only 5G ultra-wideband network, we're doing it again. This time, changing the way we learn, work, and live. And I'll always be proud that we're not just building America's first 5G network, we're doing it right.
Just center the offense around Carlos Hyde here. That's what you gotta do here.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL.
So I'm at the hotel today, and I come off the elevator on the 7th floor, and I run smack into Ringo Starr.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of like unnerving to just walk right into one of the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean,
did not get the sense he was here for the Browns game.
Yeah, well, you never know. Maybe he's performing at the celebration if they win this game.
Jets on top by 3. Under 9 to go. And Callaway taking me. Take a look at our next gen stats and the biggest play of the night. Really for either side with regard to yardage. Definitely for Cleveland was this catch by Jarvis Landry of 29 yards to set up 1st and goal at the 1. Talking about a guy who, with Miami, had 400 catches over his first 4 years. Last season with the Dolphins, 7 targets of 20 or more air yards. First 2 games, 4. That was his first of tonight's game against the Jets.
Well, last year he had 112 receptions, which led the league, but he was 17th in total yards. And he averaged less than 9 yards a catch last year, so they never got it down the field.
Here's one. What a for a good throw, but no catch by Antonio Callaway. Look, Callaway's getting a chance to play. 4th-round pick. Slid down draft boards because of problems in college. Failed drug.
He gave his quarterback a place to throw the football. He just didn't finish it, didn't make the catch. They're putting Claiborne on him. He can't run with Callaway.
Here is high.
Yeah!
For 10. They're going to give him a first down. Here's the drop.
Yeah, so many times these receivers, they
Looks
run a
away.
go route and they squeeze the sideline. They give the quarterback nowhere to put the ball because you got to lay it to the outside. He did a nice job. He didn't get jammed. He got off the line, gave Mayfield a place to go with the football, and it's just a shame because that was a perfectly thrown ball.
Mayfield 11 of 16, 141 yards, 2 drops. First down. This is caught by Landry. Landry gets 4. So talking about Josh Gordon, who gets traded to the Patriots for a 5th-round pick. He was an All-Pro in 2013. Had over 1,600 receiving yards. There he is in number 10. He wore 12. Here, 12 taken in New England, by the way. And because of all the suspensions, he had played in only 11 games in the last 4+ years. Showed up late on Saturday. The Browns had had enough and told him that they would be moving on Monday, and that's what they did when they traded him to the Patriots.
I couldn't agree with it more. We were here doing a preseason game. We know the history with Josh Gordon. We know how patient this organization has been with him. He did not show up for training camp. They were very patient with that. And John Dorsey, I think, and Hugh Jackson did all that they could to support that young man. And at some point, it's not fair to the other players on this team. And I know he's a talented guy, and I get all that. But at some point, you got to hold people accountable and treat them like adults. Just say, look, we're not going to put up with it any longer, and they didn't. I think it was a good move, and I think it probably galvanized this locker room.
3rd and 5, pass caught. Johnson, a spin move on the sideline. And that ball is out, recovered by the Browns.
That was a Cleveland moment.
Higgins,
If
he
you
stayed
actually
in bounds, and
put
with
up
all
the ball.
those moves along the sideline, he was knocked out of his arms, but Higgins was there to recover at the 45. That was a nice conversion on 3rd down and 5, and here's the end of it. That ball is out.
Yeah, it was out, and Higgins does a good job of Avery Williamson having a good game. He's the one who rips it out. But Duke Johnson, they split him out, shows us what he's capable of doing as a receiver.
Mayfield.
Wow, what a throw.
Behind, but caught by Higgins to the 25. And now they're going to mark him back at the 26.
Well, Baker Mayfield sees safety in the middle of the field, and he's got a free release seam route right up the hash, and that's where you go with the ball. He's seeing the field exceptionally well. He knows what the defense is presenting to him, and he's getting the ball to the right people.
Pass is off the chest.
He sucks.
That'll go down as the 3rd drop.
Cleveland Clowns can't catch the football. That's twice
Free
now.
release right here up the seam, and once he sees that movement, that rotation, okay, who's my guy running the seam where I can fit a ball in there? Comes right back off of that, and it's funny because
It's not a basket. Catch with your hands.
Make the ridiculous catches like you see there, and just a routine ball like that, you wonder how that even happens. But he let it get in on his chest and bounced off his shoulder pads.
Well, he's got some zip. Here's High, looking for a cutback, not there. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Mayfield
it's a different looking football coming out of his hand than we saw earlier in the game with Tyrod Taylor. That ball got in on Landry, I think, faster than he thought. That's why it ended up drilling him in the shoulder pad.
And this is going to sound a little strange, but some quarterbacks, the way in which they throw it, there's more rotation on the ball than when some other quarterbacks throw it. Warren Moon was like that. He threw a tight, highly rotated ball when it came out in a tight spiral. And Baker, watching him, I mean, that thing's got some revolutions on it. And it's a little different. I agree with that.
Here's one to Callaway out of bounds near the marker for the first down.
Even with a measure, that's how you know this game is good.
Browns in business inside the 16.
It's a really nice job of. They brought the blitz off the edge. They brought Trumaine Johnson off the edge, which is what you want to do. Make sure this kid knows where the blitzes are coming from. And Baker picks it up. So Trumaine Johnson comes off. He's got a guy wide open. A lot of the young quarterbacks, I can assure you, would not have seen that and would have got hit in the back of the head.
Here's Hyde on first down.
Go! Yeah! Damn it! They outbacked.
Touchdown. But it's against Cleveland. So we'll erase the celebration.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 80.
Fuck you.
10-yard penalty. Replay.
Fuck you.
It's Landry blocking for Hyde.
Fuck you. Dylan.
There it is, right in the middle of the screen as he shoved Barry Nickerson to the ground.
It didn't take much.
Mike Pereira says good call. And moves it back to the 19.
Hey, Ron!
This is the matchup here. They've been taken advantage of a little bit with Antonio Callaway.
Mayfield over the middle. Pass is caught big. Landry survived the hit from Middleton. Third and short.
Carlos Hyde time.
That's a great throw by Baker Mayfield. There was a small window. The underneath coverage did not allow for much space. You see the linebacker who just was unable to get his hands on it, Avery Williamson, he's right there. And he fit that into a tight spot. That's awfully good. That shows off some of that accuracy I was talking about that he displayed at the University of Oklahoma.
Second down and 1. Handoff to Chubb. The rookie Chubb to 1.
Give it to Hyde.
Good play. Avery Williamson, what a night he's had. And that strong tackle kept Carlos Hyde out of the end zone.
Yeah, Avery Williamson has really played well, and then Darren Lee was also down there making a play. And see if maybe they don't come off of this with a little play action.
Under 3 to go. Second and goal.
Under. You guys go back. You're good. Hold.
Landry on the toss. Back to the line of scrimmage. It's third and goal. Steve McClendon, the big man in the middle, 99, was in there to stuff that play.
They executed it very well. Everyone stayed true to their assignments, didn't give any kind of lane off the shovel.
Gonna have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. Extra offensive lineman, Austin Corbett comes in.
Down by 3, 3rd and goal.
This will be a great stand by this Jets defense. They're able to hold here.
Yeah, Coyotes high! Fantasy points! And he benched Isaiah Coulon.
The left guard, he pulls, he kind of leads the way, and then Carlos Hyde celebrating his 28th birthday today with his second touchdown.
It's his birthday. That is funny.
The lead is 4. The number 1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield. As this crowd in a frenzy.
That was scripted. 2 touchdowns on his birthday.
You're not flying? Wow. I mean, give me the 4-hour flight.
Rigged game. What did I say?
Next thing you know, we're in the hotel watching TV.
It's rigged. Of course it is. The national audience has seen Baker Mayfield's debut. It's rigged.
Cool. I don't get it.
Oh, yes!
You like driving?
Cardinals! AJ Green on Thursday! And then Carlos Hyde, baby! Kick-ass fantasy, 3-0! 3-0, baby!
For all those who stand out and stand together. Whatever
So let's go through my starting lineup.
JCPenney.
Now, who do I have? Who do I have?
Generosity.
Into what?
A spirit that's real.
AJ Green.
Real.
These are my starters.
Symbol of who you are every
Not
day.
necessarily using my lineup every week. AJ Green. Got
Generosity.
Michael Crabtree.
Worthy of the
We
crown.
got Sean Lynch. Got
Bridgestone drive
Carlos
guard tires are
Hyde.
engineered to come through in the clutch.
We
And
got
NFL coach John Gruden is
Eric
going to help us prove
Ebron. That post tight end.
I got this.
Arizona defense, I'm waiting to turn
Actually,
around.
drive guard tires can take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles.
Catanzaro. My kicker. I've got French. Alshon Jeffrey once he's healthy. I drafted Dez Bryant until he does find a team. I've cut some guys. I've acquired some guys. John Brown. I like my former Cardinals wide receiver, now at the Ravens, having a great start. There is Sean Jackson. And I've got now Will Fuller. I like Will Fuller. I've watched him in Notre Dame. He's really solid for these guys. I've got Gordon Reed on the bench and someone else here. Big fantasy day, 2 consecutive Thursdays. AJ Green against the Baltimore Ravens and the Carlos Hyde against the New York Jets to go ahead touchdown.
Then Heisman Trophy winner. And now here on Thursday, September 20th, with an injury to the starter Tyrod Taylor. Time, it looked like, was running out on Taylor anyway. Mayfield took over. And he's got the Browns, who went off as a 3-point favorite, leading by 4. And now the Jets will try to answer as they've got to get it down into the end zone. 3 timeouts, just over 2 to go.
Just one play here. Just bring up the blitz, dial it up, try to force it to second down. Send 5 guys here. So that's a pretty strong front.
Empty back there with Darnold. That was tipped and nearly picked. Off 2 hands. And then Terrence Mitchell had a shot at it.
Now that looks like it was really rigged. since Mitchell wears number 39. It's New York Eagles 39, so
2 minutes left.
I
Down for the Jets.
think they certainly tried that play, just the execution was poor.
Look around. With artificial intelligence, we are not crawling or walking. We are flying. Microsoft AI helps an architect bring history back to life. This is now. AI helps farmers grow more food with less resources. An engineer explores how AI can help the deaf see sound. Innovation creates tomorrow, and tomorrow is here today.
Corona Hotline. No, he doesn't work here anymore. What's up?
So there it is, your
Stay
red
calm.
comeback.
Grab your Corona. I'm going to walk you through this step by
Red
step.
comeback here.
But seriously, that is a lot of guacamole.
There's a new operator
Cleveland
in town.
Browns.
Call the Corona hotline today and find your game day piece.
Cleveland Browns.
KFC presents the new 10-piece chicken feast for only
What's
$19.99, featuring 2 large mashed potatoes and 4 biscuits, with a whopping 10 pieces of chicken. Get it all
I'm
for only
3-0 on
$19.99 before
Thursdays
it's
if
gone.
the Browns
KFC,
hold on. Let's
it's finger
skip
licking
the
good.
game. Might as well just give them the game right now.
Touchdown, what a start. Experience the thrill of NFL Red Zone
A
from
scripted
NFL
game
Network.
at home
We got
brought
a
to you
stuffed
by
lineup of games all day
this
today.
rigged
Every
entertainment,
touchdown.
the NFL. Have Baker Mayfield come in and lead the Browns to victory.
Did that just happen? Every Sunday afternoon, we were
I didn't even know it was his birthday today.
all the way. Touchdown. NFL Red Zone, Sundays at 1.
A late birthday present for Andrew. Well, you see. First week after Andrew Luck's birthday, he won at his place of birth, Washington, D.C. NFL was fixed. It is completely scripted by the numbers, completely rigged.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Microsoft Surface.
2 minutes left in Cleveland, Ohio, as they hope to celebrate all over Northeast Ohio.
What favor?
Baker Mayfield,
I'm waiting.
his drives tonight, if you take the kneel down before half out
But
of
the
it,
Jets at 3 timeouts.
that points on all but one possession. Browns leading, pass caught.
He's out of
by Robbie
bounds.
Anderson.
Anderson does a good job.
Earlier
Anderson, number 11.
in this second half.
New
Had a
York,
fumble
11th
last
ratified
week
state's
against
a
the
big
Dolphins.
star.
That
11's a
looked
big
good for
number
5.
for New York, and he's their star
Third down
player.
and 5. Tyrod Taylor was injured. Baker Mayfield took over, and the number 1 overall pick was his team up. The number 3 overall pick, Darnold, trying to ruin the storyline for Baker Mayfield and the Browns.
False start.
Flag before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Against Brandon Shell. Third down and 10. Darnold uses his legs. Fourth down. And now a look over to the sideline and the decision. 3 timeouts left, 1:48. Fourth down and 10. And Darnold stays out there.
I'm surprised by this, Joe. I would think with 3 timeouts, they're backed up, that they would punt, and then, they got time. They would get the ball back if they're able to make a stop with over a minute left in the game. And this surprises me.
This to have any hope here in week 3. Pass, what a catch! Jermaine Kearse saves the Jets on 4th and 10. Good for 12.
That's a great catch by Jermaine Kearse. I mean, you see he had fingertips on it, still moving and securing it.
Not reviewed. It would have to be called for from the booth inside of 2 minutes. Pass picked.
Super Bowl 52.
Joe Schobert. Browns take over.
Let's have a decode.
It's been 635
Because it's rigged.
days since the Browns have celebrated a
A
win.
minute 21
They're a
left.
minute 21 away. Not over yet.
Relation.
Dependability,
21.
honesty, integrity,
Number
just like in the
53.
military, the Air Force Academy.
Catches the
Certainly for my family, my
INT.
grandfather. Those are the things I'm
Completes
always getting when I'm
the
dealing with
comeback.
I can always depend
Equals
that you're going to be able to
53
get someone on
in
the phone.
the
Those people are going to be friendly.
year of the comeback.
Whatever you need.
That's what I'm seeing here. It's a rigged game. Number 53 catches it. Year Super Bowl 53. It's comeback that equals 53. That's the makings of a rigged game. Completely rigged, completely scripted, all done by the numbers. I knew this comeback was going to happen. This is a rigged league. And Carlos Hyde just sealed the deal for my fantasy team today.
Adults are just kids with much, much better toys. Introducing the 2018 C-Class sedan, coupe, and cabriolet. The thrills keep getting better. Lease the C300 sedan for $399 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Study, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Tonight on NFL Total Access, Von Miller sounds off on the endangered species known as the pass rusher. Plus, Jets-Browns highlights and Week 3 matchups you cannot miss tonight after the postgame show.
Coming up on the U.S. Army postgame show, reaction to Baker Mayfield's first game. I'd say it's gone well. And the star of the game on the set, I'd say that would be Mayfield. Barring the unforeseen, here's a handoff to Hyde. And a timeout taken by the Jets. They have 2 left. Back to the interception.
There's Schobert there, but Spencer Long gets jammed back into Sam Darnold's face. Darnold, when he's about to pull the trigger on Curse, he can't because Spencer Long is in his lap, and he tries to then slide. And by that time, to the middle, late. Schobert, who missed an opportunity earlier in this ball game for interception, comes up big and secures that one. And you see
And that says it all there. Great sports fans here in Cleveland. They lost their franchise, went to Baltimore. They got the team back.
NFL loves fucking over Cleveland.
But they've got to get a first down here to end this
They
game.
keep on giving money to a
Second
big
version of
show.
Browns. The reboot started in '99. Here's Hyde. Good play is made. Again, it's Avery Williamson. Now 1 timeout left for the Jets. And it'll be 3rd down for Cleveland. Sunday at 9, Kurt Warner goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson. Plus the guys preview Carson Wentz's return to the field. NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9, live on NFL Network. Baker Mayfield, Troy, came into this game with 1:42 left in the first half. At that point, the Browns trailed 14-0. Mayfield has had only 1 drive, if you don't count the kneel down before the half, where they didn't come away with points. They're on field goal and back-to-back touchdowns the last 3 times they've had it. They lead by 4.
Hey, you guys impressive. And I think he has great numbers, but I think a lot of times you can't even look at the numbers. I think the kid's just a winner.
3rd down and 6. Hyde is going to be about first down, Jamal Adams made the stop, and the Jets will call a timeout. And so now you have a fourth down for Cleveland. You have a kicker that you don't know, and Greg Joseph, who has been anything but automatic, albeit 2 for 2. And we'll see what Hugh Jackson wants to do. Mayfield's numbers in under 32 minutes, 17 for 23, 201 yards, no touchdowns or picks, 3 drops, so the numbers could be even better. And they signed the new kicker, but right now they're going to bring their punter on, and they're going to pass on what would be a 53-yard try.
Yeah, I think, you miss that, and then you're setting the Jets up with a lot of time and great field position. No question, this is the right call. Not knowing that kicker.
Over the head of Roberts, checks up inside the 10, and well played. Good punt by Britton Colquitt and Derek Kindred downfield as they will mark it at the 6. 30-yard punt, no return.
Well, Colquitt did his job. An outstanding punt. Sam Darnold gets one more crack at it.
With no timeouts. We talked to Greg Williams leading into this game and talked to him about how well the defense had played, all the takeaways, coming in with 8. Only 10 points off those 8 takeaways. I said, is there any division between offense and defense with this team? And he said, I told our guys, until you shut somebody out, I don't want to hear a word. Now they've got Mayfield putting up points, and it's the defense on the field trying to end it.
Well, this is the guy who can wreak havoc, Myles Garrett. They better have an answer for blocking him.
From the end zone, pass is caught. Big chunky yards to Pryor. And the former Cleveland Brown is out to the 31. A 25-yard completion with now 40 seconds left in the game.
That's a big chunk. That's what they needed. They're going to need another one as well. Everything's going to get funneled to the middle.
Darnold tripped up. And we'll see what they call. The ball came out.
Yeah, was he?
Like a forward pass, but we'll see if they're going to mark him down.
There's no intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket.
Yeah. He was outside the pocket, but he's got the ball in his hand with his knee on the ground, and they'll look at that. So this right now is being ruled as an incomplete pass, and we expect that to change. So the review called for from upstairs. Meanwhile, if you're a Browns fan, you're thinking they've come up with some creative ways to lose games over this stretch of 635 days, but it just has a different feel here tonight with Baker Mayfield and this defense. Mike, did you see what I saw?
Yeah, and the significance are not a lot in yardage, but it is clock. So since they ruled it as an incomplete pass, now you're going to take it back to the knee being down, and the clock is going to restart. So that's really the significance of this review.
So to follow up with what you said, it does certainly have a different feel, but I think it's had a different feel for much of the offseason. You know, when John Dorsey came in and with all those picks that they had and the players that were in this draft, the quarterbacks and the opportunities that they had in front of them, of course, Hard Knocks didn't hurt anything either. People got a chance to really get exposed and get to know a lot of these players. But yeah, there's been some real optimism.
The quarterback was down by contact at the 29-yard line. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 29 seconds.
John Dorsey's fingerprints are all over this game with Baker Mayfield, a trade for Jarvis Landry. And Mike Barrera, they're going to take time off the clock here because they overturned what was initially called an incomplete pass.
Because they ruled it a stop clock, then they reversed it to a running clock. And when you do that inside of 2 minutes, you run 10 seconds off the clock, which is what they did. And the clock starts on Jerome Boger's signal like it did now.
On second down and 12, Darnold airs it out. Downfield pass is hit by Mitchell. Browns are going to win.
Great.
What a moment for number 6 to go out there, take a knee, and that'll end the night. It's reviewed because it's a turnover, and the clear pick is made by Terrence Mitchell. Another pickup by John Dorsey, the unrestricted free agent from the Chiefs, as they revamp this secondary. Mayfield and the Browns get the win over the Jets.
You go, Cleveland. Way to go. Thanks for watching. We witnessed history today, Baker Mayfield's debut. We should see how it concludes, but this is a completely rigged game, completely scripted. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll be on for many, many, many more streams. Have a good night.